Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. Thank God for another beautiful day. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful show. And Montgomery needs a new mayor, folks. Am I right? Oh, we need a new mayor. But perhaps we'll settle for a new governor here before too long. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me on this fine Friday. How you doing?
You are correct, sir. We need a new mayor.
Now, I don't know why this is, but I kind of ran about something. Please don't go all full crusades on me.
Well,
If I bring this
won't
up.
promise you that, but I'll try to.
Because
hold
you
my
know what
AKB.
gets you going full crusades. What I'm
Yeah.
probably about to bring up, and I don't want to go full crusades. I just want to comment on how strange this is.
Okay.
I get an email every once in a blue moon, perhaps a crescent moon, and it's from. Let me see. Let me just pull it up.
Go ahead.
It's from Ibrahim,
Ibrahim.
and the Ibrahim Hooper, and it's ihooper@care.com.
Nice.
And I don't know why I keep getting these, because the email says CARE says, that's the Council on American Islamic Relations
That's
or
right.
something. CARE says Senator Tuberville, we call him Coach, guys. They say Senator Tuberville is setting the stage for violence against Muslims after he calls Islam a death cult. I think Tuberville's quote was, "Islam is not a religion, it's a death cult." And there's all these other things, and they go down the list, all the different chapters coming out and saying, well, in New York, we had one person that was targeted. I'm like, so because Tuberville called y'all out for being a false Christian heresy, now you're just laying the predicate that he's responsible for anything that happens in the nation to a person who claims to be a Muslim.
You've been targeted. You
Yeah.
have been targeted. They know that you are a media person, and they have sent a direct mailing to you. Somehow they've acquired your email address, which isn't hard to do in the darknet. But
No,
they found you.
I don't know. Maybe it's because wrote nice things about Sonny Burton or something.
possible.
Want to get him off death row.
It's possible.
I'm a reasonable person, but I want to respond to be like, well, I mean, death cult's strong, because I know there are a lot of Muslims that are just Muslims because they're worried about being killed themselves.
I use
But
that
apostasy's not, exactly. It's kind of frowned upon in the Islamic world, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But then again, I wouldn't really concern
And it might not be full on
I wouldn't
honor
concern
killings, but
myself
you
with
might lose your whole relationship with your entire family and friend network, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
No, definitely. Yeah,
right, these sorts of things.
I wouldn't
So,
concern myself with
But
that.
I would say it's a false religion, and y'all should convert.
Or face the sword.
No, I told you, don't go full crusader
I'm
on
just
me.
saying. Listen,
We
you
don't
can't
want to be
negotiate
like
with
them.
people. All right. No, we don't want them.
Fair enough. I'm in I thought Charlie Kirk put it quite well many moons ago, maybe perhaps a crescent moon ago, where he talked about, and I truly do believe this, if you could take an individual person
Sure.
out of whatever, for most cultures, there are
Agreed.
probably exceptions like the cannibals, and the uncontacted tribes,
Yeah,
like
Asmodeans.
might have a little bit of a problem brought into the modern world. But you could go to pretty much any culture, take an individual out, and they'd probably make a great American.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
The problem is when you bring the whole village,
Yeah.
if not the entire city.
And the resistance to assimilate into your local culture,
Yes.
you're going to have problems.
Yes, that's a big problem.
Are you telling me then that the Havaros, if we brought them here in mass, they would be firing poison dart arrows, like out of blowguns at us on the streets?
Yes.
That's a
Yes,
scary
because I've
thought.
seen videos of,
What happened?
for all that being a cliche and whatnot, some recent stuff of, I can't remember the guy's name. He does amazing work in the Amazon. He's been on Lex Friedman show a
Yeah, I know who
bunch.
you're talking about.
And they just found these, actually interacted with some of these uncontacted tribes,
Yeah.
or formerly uncontacted, and they thought they had traded with them and gotten some understanding. That tribe attacked them and murdered some people later
Nice.
that night,
That's what
trying to
they
get more of the stuff. And it's like, yeah, good luck.
The British learned quickly how to deal with the savages.
Yeah, good luck, man. Anyway, I was just like, why is Ibrahim? I don't even know
You've been
Ibrahim.
targeted. You've been targeted.
I don't even I think it's because we're in Alabama, and
You've been targeted.
it's like, whatever.
Someone is monitoring 18 News, 19 News. You write for them.
Yeah.
They know about your station. Listen, there's a very active collection. There are companies that sell BI, business intelligence, that I'm sure sells to these organizations, media influencers or media people and markets.
But, and they also said in an op-ed earlier this year, CARE noted when Senator Tuberville talks about excluding Alabama Muslims from the constitutional rights guaranteed to all Alabamans, he sounds like a politician who studied George Wallace standing in the schoolhouse door and decided that Wallace's problem wasn't the bigotry, just the target. I believe what Tuberville has said is the First Amendment and the Constitution shall be the supreme law of the land.
That's right.
We don't want Sharia law supplanting that. And then everybody freaks out you're taking away constitutional right. No, you don't have a constitutional right to do unconstitutional things and to claim a, say, legal basis that is completely at odds with the foundations of the nation.
Well, I wrote on this, remember, I said one of the problems you have with Islam is it morphs itself into the system, finds its flaws, and then uses those against the system.
And have you seen the guy, to your point, who he was literally a son of like one of the people that got Hamas going?
Oh.
And he left.
Really?
He converted.
Did not see that.
And he's like, yeah.
He tells the secret.
Like, those are my favorite people to listen to, like folks who left, convert, and go, they're lying to you.
Yeah, they are.
And they're quick to say, yes, I think there are a lot of folks, how a lot of Christians are, any Hindus are, a lot of folks are just in that, swimming in that soup. And so that's what they are. They were born in Saudi Arabia. They were born in India. You're born in Alabama.
Yep.
You're a Baptist. Like, it's not, and you haven't thought about it that much because you were that's what you were given.
You were socialized and influenced into that.
Right. But in terms of the people driving the car,
Right.
like, they were constantly saying, stop playing with this devil. You don't understand and don't know. Stop it. And I don't know. My position still is like, if I live in Dearborn, I'd be a little more forceful. I might move.
Yeah. I don't think you'd be
But
living
as a
in Dearborn.
nationwide thing, I would say this is mostly an immigration control problem, and don't let any more
Write him
folks in.
back and ask him about that incident with Muhammad in the desert where he drew a line in the sand with his assistant, said, do not cross. And he interloped with 4 large black African men and had a night where they rode him all night. Yes, it's in
That
Hadith.
doesn't even sound right.
It's in Hadith. I'll pull it up for
No,
you.
but like, fair enough. But like, I hear that and I'm like, that can't be true.
He's a fudge packer.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to bring it
No,
up for
let's not use.
you. You're going to see that. You're going to see it.
Well, you didn't go full
I did not go
Crusader.
either.
You
Hey,
went in a
what-
different direction.
Well, how are you going to answer Ibrahim? Inshallah, brother.
No,
Are you going to write him back?
no, I'm not gonna write.
Please don't. That's what. It's probably a robot.
No, I was just like, why is CARE sending me stuff, man?
Because they think you're a potential turncoat.
Yeah, right.
That
right.
should tell you a little bit about things.
Yeah.
You better.
Now I'm going to try.
buckle down.
I'm going to try to tell you about Jesus if you keep texting me.
That's what you need to do.
wanna teach
Let's
you
talk
about
Jesus. That's right.
Seriously.
I love when my ladies come from from Jehovah's Witnesses, and I listen. I go, let me tell you about what I believe. I like rubbing myself in lamp oil. I get a little monkey out. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, please don't tell them all your secrets.
Nah, but it's funny because most of the Islamic fundamentalist world and these people that you see brazenly commit acts are usually pulled from some of the lowest educated,
Yes.
poorest, and they believe whatever they're told
Yes.
and go forth and do terrible things. What do you think Coach is going to do? when he
Actually,
gets
I think what I should send them back is like an entire story I just read of Bishop Barron on Our Lady of Guadalupe.
that would be
Because I believe there was a Marian apparition in Egypt that was notoriously well documented.
Yes.
In fact, it was so crazy, folks. Like, it was just a shimmering being that looked
I
like the
remember
Virgin
something about
Mary in like downtown Cairo, or I can't remember exactly.
It was in Cairo. It was, yes.
And
it was witnessed by many
and it
people.
was so like there the whole time, and people didn't understand it. The authorities literally cut off power to that area, to that part of the grid, and it still was there. They still don't really it's fascinating.
They said there was many witnesses.
I might
to
send
it.
them that. I'll send them a video on that.
That's a great idea.
That'll be my response. 272-9228. Now, Trump gave this speech last night about the election problems we have.
Yes.
Yeah, I
watched
thought
it.
like this was common knowledge from, just talking to people like Greg Phillips, that a lot of, voter information, in fact, millions, and Trump said, what, 220 million
221
Americans'
million.
records
221 million.
sent over to the Chinese? I thought that was, guess they're confirming it. Like I knew about certain like swaps and these sorts of things, or like backdoors that were immediately sending the information to China. I didn't know it was that degree though.
Well,
that's crazy.
I think what he was doing was two things. One, that was rumor. We call that rumor intelligence. We had heard about it, but we didn't see the actual documents of the investigations. And those, I went to the whitehouse.gov. Did you go?
A little bit.
Yeah, I pulled down all the data that backed it, and it was pretty damning. And I think the thing that was most concerning, Joey, was the suppression of it by our own intelligence community.
It's concerning, though. I'm not surprised.
Not at all.
Not at all. Like, given that same intelligence community did the whole, like, you were doing golden showers with Vladimir Putin in Russian hotels and stuff.
Ooh, really?
Like, come on.
So why would they do that, Joey? Is it because A, they're inept in their ability to protect us, or B, they're complicit in it?
The most benign, because there could be a lot of possibilities, would be like, dadgummit, we don't think this is that much, but if we tell Trump about it, he's going to make a big thing about
It's
it.
like, what are you guys doing?
I think there's some people that think that way. But then I suspect there are others that aren't that worried about the Chinese in that regard.
I told you what China does. When there's a conference somewhere, a defense conference, they will send an army of collectors that pick up every business card, and then they will build databases. They're very meticulous in their collection of data.
And by the way, China just released an AI model that puts them back in the lead. So, things are going great in that regard.
Yeah.
DHS also found Trump announced 278,000 non-citizens on voter rolls. Apparently, they haven't revealed which states, but that's only from 4 states.
That's on the low end, too, they're saying. So, yeah, because a lot of states don't share their data.
Yeah, and that the whole shadow government, like deep staters actually bragging about. Yeah. Now, as we were talking about off air in a different context, this is a combination of folks who really know what they're doing and have nefarious reasons. They are true deep state plotters.
Yeah.
But then there are a lot of just dopes. So thus the burn back thing. Like, I think there's a lot of like everything isn't as coordinated as you think. There's more like cliques inside a clique, like Russian nesting dolls. It's just all sorts of little groups inside of groups, and some are sillier than
Those are
others.
called matryoshnikas, by the way.
Really?
The little dolls.
What did you just call me?
Matryoshnika.
Okay.
That's a compliment for you.
Yeah.
Let's open you up and see what's inside. But anyways.
Is that what you want to say to Ibrahim?
No, Ibrahim. Look inside my heart. When I worked at INSCOM at Fort Belvoir, which is Army Intelligence Security Command, they had a conveyor belt. And every day around 3, we would go down with our burnable and you put it on the conveyor belt. And it was a pretty controlled environment. It wasn't just, hey, go down and burn that stuff.
Right.
So yeah, they found a room full of it. And you got to wonder if someone was, who knows, but let me put it this way. That didn't happen just by happenstance. That was clearly designed that way for someone to hide it. So,
and there was a lot of this speech that wasn't even shown. Like on NBC and ABC,
Really?
and Trump called them out. It was like, they're not even airing this.
that's
And then
right.
CBS showed some of it, pulled away from it. And then Mark Warner, Democrat senator, is on the Intel committee, like co-chair.
right.
He's started shaming like Tony DeCoppel or whatever the new dude's name is at CBS for airing any of this stuff. Like it's news. It's like, it's the president of the United States making this case publicly. Perhaps it's news. You may not like it. We didn't like it when Biden called everybody semi-fascist,
I like what
but you all aired it.
I like what he said. He said, CBS, NBC, the fake news, he said, aren't even going to cover this. He said, but they profit billions and billions of dollars from their FCC license. Maybe we should revoke their license.
Yeah.
I would like that. That'd be
I don't
great.
think that's going to
It's
happen.
not going to happen.
But no, this speech did make Democrats melt down.
Well, they said that Georgia's contingent was definitely watching very closely what he was saying. So I think we're going to see some activity over there in investigations.
Yeah, it's well, and then Jonathan Karl immediately went in and said, we still have a lot more to look through, but this
Right.
doesn't seem real. And I'm like, well, maybe you should
It's
look
quite-
through it.
Maybe
man.
you need to look through.
Maybe you should look through it. But here is, as I just mentioned, Senator Mark Warner after the Trump speech. And if you didn't watch it, go find it. It's available online everywhere. That's also something that was kind of funny to me. It's like, they're not going to play that on NBC or ABC.
They did.
I wonder where we'll have a way to watch it.
I did it on YouTube.
Yeah. And then the funny thing, Streisand effect, is they then spend an hour or two of coverage debunking the very speech they didn't show, which makes you go, I kind of want to go see it, right? Unless you're already on the team or in the tank.
Well, that's what they're hoping.
But here is Mark Warner, and he looks like he's on the Intel committee. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he does. He looks like a
He's been on there too
IT
long.
guy. Yeah.
But let's. This is his reaction to CBS. He's talking to the anchor of CBS Special Report Evening News,
Okay.
Tony DeCoppel. Let's listen in.
In fact, before I start, as an American, not as an elected official, I was embarrassed that the President of the United States went before our whole country and networks like yours carried this as news, as opposed to a rehash of falsehoods. And it is incumbent upon you and any responsible journalist to push back on these falsehoods. I've been either chairman or vice chairman of the Intelligence Committee for the last decade.
If I may, on that point, since you raised it.
If I may just finish, sir. If I may, sir, finish, sir. If we don't call into question these falsehoods, this president is he's going to lose a free and fair election. And unless responsible journalists and the American people step up and say, our system, which has stood the test of time, is not going to be undermined by this kind of falsehoods, then, we all will have to live with those responsibilities. And a matter of fact, before I start.
It's true.
Yeah, but it's essentially Trump and team deciding to go on offense. That's how I view this from 10,000 feet. I honestly don't think it is all about the particulars. This is, hey, you really want to solve the problem? Pass the Save America Act. That's the punchline. This is a way to go on the offensive
And if you
and get that done.
Robin's watching this with me, and she's like, why would anyone not want you to show an ID? I said, that's a good question, Robin. If you don't support the Save America Act, then clearly you're not interested in a free and fair election system. And it just boggles my mind.
And then, of course, Gavin Newsom's out there saying Trump doesn't believe in a free and fair election system. He believes in authoritarianism.
Put a boot up your ass. It's the American way.
Now, one of the guys that was helping to compile this is John Solomon from Just the News. He's working with top administration officials, and he joined CBS right after Mark Warner did. Let's listen into this.
It's John Solomon. He is an advisor to the president, to President Trump. He's leading a government transparency task force for the White House. He's also the man behind a lot of the research and the reporting that the president cited as true in this speech tonight. John, you heard the president. You also heard the senator say none of it is true or not new or not significant, and others have said that as well. Your response?
Well, listen, I talked to the intelligence chiefs in the last few days as we got prepared for this. It's very important to understand, the president said this tonight, every intelligence chief vetted this speech. They made sure it was accurate. They told me they had never been briefed on the size of the breaches, the 230 million Americans, the 220 million Americans whose data was stolen, that they consider it a security breach. How many times on your network have you reported that 5 countries are capable of hacking our election machines? When is the last time you reported that Venezuela actually succeeded in breaching a machine which has implications for our future security? You haven't, because it was never made public. It has not been made to Congress. It's not been told to the president in the past. We checked the presidential daily briefs. A president was kept from this information. Now we have a chance to fix a glass chin of election security, make the 26th election more secure than the last 3.
John, did the president, in his address tonight, we know he likes to ad-lib, did he overstep the information that you provided to him in any way, shape, or form?
Not that I've seen. I mean, I have to go back and compare everything, but no, I think the president stayed right where the intelligence community gave us this information, where it resides, and that is, we had a glass chin. We knew our election machines are vulnerable. We didn't patch them. We knew 230 million Americans' voter data was stolen by Chinese spies. Now think about this. When Equifax had the 147 million person breach 10 years ago, it was one of the biggest stories, one of the biggest data breaches. And this is larger than that. A foreign enemy has the ability now to register American voters, and that is something that concerned the Intelligence Committee. Thousands of pages of reports that we went through. We put several hundred of them out tonight. But if all of us are worried about when our bank account gets compromised, we should be just as worried when our voter file gets compromised, because it may affect a future election.
So what's the president's next move here tonight?
He laid out several steps. One of them is for tomorrow, the Homeland Security Secretary to begin briefing reporters at the White House on what the machine fixes are. patches, very simple things that will fix those machines. By the way, the first people to raise concerns about the very patches we're talking about, 2 Democratic senators back in 2019. But these are going to get fixed now, 7 years later. The second thing is the Homeland Security Department needs to figure out what to do to make sure we can deal with this identity theft so that when people vote, they are the person they say they are, and some foreigner hasn't monkeyed with the system. And then third, he made very clear the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, they have to go back and find out why the intelligence analysts kept this from a president, kept this from a Congress, kept this from the American people. I have found no evidence in all the documents the Intelligence Committee gave me that people like Senator Mark Warner knew about this. Now, if he knew about it, maybe he should have told us earlier.
But John, you know, the voting rolls that China has allegedly compromised, they are public rolls. That's the information.
They're not all.
They're not all. Okay.
Not.
So then tell me this.
No, they're not.
What could China potentially do? Because this is the headline that comes out of this tonight: 220 million compromised voter rolls. What can China potentially do, from your understanding, with those with that information?
Yeah, it's a great question, Tony. When your reporters look at the National Intelligence Council assessment from January of 2020, there are 6 things it was assessed. This means all the intelligence community agrees together. 6 things they can do. They can vote in your name, and you would show up one day and you wouldn't be able to vote because they'll tell you someone else voted for you. They could register you in another location. You would never know that they voted for you in another location because they have all your data, everything they need to fill out a legitimate registration form. They could go and change something on your address, and when you showed up with your ballot or with your ID, like, oh, you're not that person. You're registered at another address. All of those things were imagined by our intelligence community. They warned about it. They called it the softest of vulnerabilities, the most severe vulnerabilities our system had. It gets hacked, and then they don't tell any of us. You know, we get informed when our bank accounts are taken. Why shouldn't we get informed when our voter records are taken?
Well, we're getting informed tonight. John, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, and actually, I give credit to CBS for actually having John Solomon on and like actually covering the speech to a degree.
You know, it's irrefutable what has happened. And if you do refute or you try to change the topic, then you are complicit and you are part of the problem.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what this is. Like the
Destruction of
unfortunately, like the game here is with partisan politics. Is it, like you would think Americans that believe in like fundamental principles could get together and have a system that is like on the up and up. But instead, the way the system works is, well, the way you set the rules is really going to affect the game. Really going to affect the game. And the question is, if you change the rules in that way, that's clearly going to advantage the Republicans, or that's clearly going to advantage the Democrats.
True.
And it's unfortunate. Now, the administration's been trying to fact check stuff in real time against the fact checkers who are going after them and stuff like that. In particular, the one on the mail-in, like universal mail-in ballots. Like CBS News tweeted out, President Trump claimed mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt while advocating for a Save America Act, which would ban mail-in voting except in certain cases. We fact-check rate this as false. There's no evidence of widespread mail-in ballot fraud or corruption in states where no excuse absentee or universal vote by mail is offered. The Brookings Institute found an average total mail voting fraud percentage across the 2016, 2018, 2020, and 2022 general elections of only 0.00043%, or about 4 cases of mail-in voting fraud out of every 10 million mail votes. That finding's hilarious.
That's ridiculous.
That's the fact check? That's absurd.
The Brookings Institute.
So here's the White House's response. Fact, voting by mail increases the risk of fraud. Fact, the Bipartisan Commission on Federal Election Reform, that was done years ago. Like Jimmy Carter was on it, right?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, the Bipartisan Commission on Federal Election Reform warned that voting by mail is likely to increase the risk of fraud and of contested elections. That, quote, absentee ballots remain the largest source of potential voter fraud.
Absolutely.
And that, quote, vote buying schemes are far more difficult to detect when citizens vote by mail. Huh.
Especially when you don't have to show an ID.
Here's another interesting fact. A 2012 New York Times investigation revealed that votes cast by mail are less likely to be counted, more likely to be compromised, and more likely to be contested than those cast in a voting booth. Huh.
Imagine that.
Another fact, in 2024, the House Republican Policy Committee found that mass mail-in voting increases opportunities for error and fraud in states that do not maintain clean voter rolls, really, and brings about an inherent set of risks that jeopardizes the integrity of American elections and create absurdities that dampen faith in our electoral system. In fact, the MIT Election Data Plus Science Lab argued, quote, even many scholars who argue that fraud is generally rare agree that fraud with voting by mail seems to be more frequent than with in-person voting. A 2023 Heartland Institute Rasmussen poll found that 21% of mail-in voters admitted to at least one form of voter fraud in the 2020 election. Wow. So you keep going on and on. In 2008, though, the Supreme Court, United States Supreme Court, citing absentee ballot fraud in an Indiana primary, affirmed that, quote, not only is the risk of voter fraud real, but that it could affect the outcome of a close election.
Absolutely, I bet it could.
Mm-hmm. But again, let's be honest, because Americans like to say we really just care about the truth, and it's like, you know what election's a good one, free and fair and on the up and up? The one you win.
That's right. That's always the one that was the first.
And if you think only Democrats do that or only Republicans do that, you're probably a Republican or a Democrat that does that. Because that's the pattern I see.
I think, though, Joey,
Going back 20-something years now.
I think you're correct. And I think that some of the things that really we're not talking about that actually affects you the most is your state and local elections that might be tainted. I mean, think about it. You get a county commissioner, you get somebody and here's what I've been told from reliable people that have worked in election confirmations and investigations. The state doesn't really have an organization or a organ to punish or go. We talked with the Kathleen Roberts about the improprieties down in the Kathleen Roberts, and she's like, it's a real problem. It's a real problem, and it needs to be solved. So we know it's happening. It's happening in our backyard, Joey.
Yeah. Well, and I think you should pass Save America Act.
Without a doubt. Why would you not? Unless you're trying to screw the pooch.
Well, you're old senators, and you're like, well, that's kind of admitting that our elections have always been.
I will get elected next time.
There's always been a little funny business going on in our elections.
Where will I get those other 250,000 votes?
And what do you mean next time, Mitch McConnell? Next.
Hey, did you see what somebody did? Somebody did a meme with Mitch McConnell sitting in his bed with the stitches on his head and the hair looking like Gato from Jujutsu Kaisen, like Kenjaku got into his brain. Isn't that funny?
Very few people will get that reference, but I got that reference.
Shane sent it to me because Troy, look, Kenjaku said
that. Anyway, we got to hit this break. We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a man from outer space.
What's up, Earthling?
I see you've landed your spacecraft over there in that field.
That's right, man.
My question is, why have you landed here on our planet?
I came to see David Ernest.
The asset preservationist?
Yeah, man. I wanted to see if he would take a look at my portfolio for me.
Well, before you make the trip over there, call him on his toll-free number, 833-596-7233.
And I understand those last 4 digits spell out the word safe.
That is correct.
Funny thing happened the last time I came to Earth.
What was that?
I went to the Walmart, man.
Yes?
And I accidentally went in the back door.
How did that work out?
Well, they stopped me and very gently told me that I needed to go around front and come in.
And then what did you do?
I said, cool, man. Take me to your greeter.
You flew millions of miles just for that.
Hey, man, I don't ride them. I just read them.
Whether it's AC or heating or plumbing that you're needing, whatever you require, call Luke Wire.
Don't let plumbing problems strain your wallet or back up your day. Luke Wire's experienced plumbers can get there right away. Call the pros the Montgomery area has trusted for decades to get things done right. Luke Wire offers 24/7 emergency service so your home can run smoothly day and night. License number 22154.
Whatever you require, call Luke Wire right now.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street opened lower this morning as world markets tumbled, with Tokyo's Nikkei 225 losing 4% amid a sell-off of computer chip makers and other AI-related shares. Shares in Taiwan fell 6.5%. Oil prices are surging as fighting in the Middle East intensifies. Crude prices are up more than 10% in just a week. The average long-term mortgage rate climbed this week to its highest level in almost a year, driving up borrowing costs for prospective home buyers. Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac says benchmark 30-year fixed mortgage rate rose to 6.55%, up from 6.49% last week. Netflix slumped more than 11% overnight. The video streaming company's forecast for the current quarter fell below Wall Street's expectations. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. Pretty standard July summertime forecast today with mostly sunny skies mixed in with some clouds. I'm easing the temperature up a little bit, closer to 94 with triple-digit heat indices and 70s at night. Roughly the same scenario tomorrow. Rain chances, generally speaking, you could argue 30% coverage, which is standard for a summer day. We may bring up the chances just a notch on Saturday and Sunday as we watch that low in the northeastern Gulf that could develop into a tropical system. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico in the studio with me. Let's go right to the phones. Talk to Robert from Florida. Hey, Robert, how you doing?
Good. How are you today?
I'm good.
Hey, I just want to say I agree 100% that I think we do need some changes to get our election integrity back, and make sure that that we don't have any foreign influence. But with that said, is it correct that they've attached the NDAA or that has the part in it where you're connecting your military intelligence and military with Israel?
Yeah, that's the National Defense Authorization Act. There are some elements that are involved to it.
Now, that's concerning to me. And why would you attach one to the other?
Because think about it. Why would they do that? Because that will cause it to have consternation and probably get log jammed and not get passed.
Yeah. Okay.
It's an intentional. I believe it. If you're asking me, and why would that be included? Because it involves such a large portion of funding and issues that it would probably draw out, and they would be inconclusive and not be able to get the bill.
Yeah, and it's Section 219 in the House version, Section 1217 in the Senate version, established the United States-Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative, seeks to closely integrate the two militaries and weapons industries for joint research, development, and co-production in high-tech fields like AI, quantum technology, and autonomous systems. Like, how about y'all do your own thing, we'll do our own thing.
And I think, guys,
yes, I agree.
Robert, very good. This is a very good call that you brought that, and very astute of you to notice. My first concern was, are they doing it because they think it's going to pass so they could just ride that in? Mine. I don't think so, Robert. That's too big of a gamble, in my opinion.
Okay, I thought it was to get some more neocons that used to be anti-Trumpers on board.
I think you're on to something there. And it's one of those big bills that has to get passed. It must, or else, our national security is that's not going to work.
They're pulling out all the punches.
And so I think the fact that folks are pointing it out, though, and this has actually got some daylight on it, hopefully it'll get stripped out.
I'm still upset for them attaching the marijuana, making it illegal to the machine gun bill. I'm still.
Oh, that one. That was
so wrong. That's
cute
so
by
wrong.
half. Oh, can't even
All right, guys. Thank you.
Tommy Chong's still upset about that.
can't even get a mild buzz in this
I know,
country
man.
anymore without
With the
Mitch
machine
McConnell
gun.
protecting like
The
his
machine
big
gun.
tobacco interests.
Yeah.
Let's go to Roy. Hey, Roy, how you doing?
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, I guess.
Good afternoon.
Depends on where you're at.
Yeah. I just like to say Mark Warner's an idiot.
You think?
I mean, there's so many things that have gone on in the last 10 years of voting. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you kidding.
I figured in the election when Mitt Romney ran for president, he got 0 votes in 59 inner city divisions in Philadelphia. 0 in it.
Yeah.
It's in the trillions of chances of that happening, of not getting 1 vote in 59 divisions.
Well, and a lot
We
of
have
folks
video.
will say with a straight face, there's no evidence when there are all sorts of statistical anomalies. What you're saying is we don't have smoking gun proof, but when you have all these different, say, anomalies that continue to happen and trends, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Like maybe we should look into it.
Well, we had several places where the poll watchers were blocked from getting in and watching the election.
Yes, you're right.
They were threatened with places, but Atlanta being one of them.
Chicago also. I have a friend, Colonel Holland's sister was a observer up there, and they would not let her look at it.
I know, it was all over. And also they had crooked machines flipping votes, and then they make laws saying you can't video or take pictures of your voting.
Wow. It's and then add to this, I'm looking at the stats of the amount of non-citizens on the voter roll.
That's crazy.
In the 4 states in this DHS document were California, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Nevada, just reviewing public data files, not reviewing even more they could probably get their information from. But it's the SAVE system known as the Systematic Alien Verification for Entitlement, an online service used by state and government agencies to verify immigration status and citizenship of applicants seeking benefits or licenses in the United States. And, you know, the Democrats keep saying, well, it's the law. You must be a U.S. citizen to vote in state and federal elections. Like Gavin Newsom is saying that. And it's like, yeah, but Gavin, we don't have mechanisms to check and to prevent it. We're just using the honor system. And it seems like y'all are getting really, really up in arms over wanting to just create a few more integrity measures.
Then the mail-in stuff is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I saw 2 Democrats, and I know they showed me 500 ballots that they were ready to send in. And they're all filled out by one person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
it's
that
a
was
mess.
locally. And then when Doug Jones won the Senate race, I saw 15 buses with Georgia plates on it coming home here to vote.
Wow. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong
No,
with that?
no. Y'all have a good day.
Appreciate it. That cycle.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different
Very
angles you could take on
very
that. So, like,
very
especially
suspect.
Richard Shelby and team and what they did to Roy
Very
Moore and
suspect.
stuff.
Very
But I'm sorry. The fact is, the bra fits or the shoe fits. With Roy Moore, he did not defend himself well.
No, he
And
did not.
the sound, what I always think of when I think of that cycle.
Yeah.
And the lawsuits have kind of just gone back and forth and like, but I just remember the song that will always be the song of that summer. Young girl, get out of my mind. My love for you is way out of line. You better run, girl. You're much too
Is that
young.
Neil
girl.
Sedaka?
Gary Puckett and the Union
Oh,
Gap.
is it really
The
Gary
60s
Puckett?
were a different time, baby.
Well,
Better run, girl.
Freely better run, and we'll get you.
Let's go to Soldier Boy. How you doing?
You just cracked my plastic lens glasses. Damn.
Don't hold the phone so close.
They're not supposed to be able to be breakable, but you did it, Joey. Congratulations. Don't worry, I'll send you the bill.
What's on your mind today?
Well, I'm 95. I used to be 100% Trumper, but now I'm down to 95%.
Oh, no.
Well, did you watch his speech last night, which I did?
Yeah, I did.
We did. I did.
Oh, did you watch the entire speech? I did.
Yeah, I was kind of bored, honestly.
Okay. He told a flat-out lie,
Mm-hmm.
and I can prove it.
Okay.
He said no tax on tips. Okay, I found out that's true. Okay. But when he said no tax on Social Security, that is a falsehood. Because I called Social Security this morning, and they said they've received no notification of that. It has not come down to them yet. You're still going to pay taxes on your Social Security. So,
wait, what are you taking that to mean? Like Social Security benefits you're getting?
Social Security will not have federal tax on it. That's what Trump said. No tax on Social Security. But let me tell you something. I got my Social Security check, and it got tax taken out of it.
Yep.
So when I asked them about it, so I asked Social Security office, and they said they had heard nothing officially about it. I said, well, it's a part of the big, beautiful bill, you know? And they said, and it got passed, correct? Right? We're not going to cherry pick things. And then I called the IRS. Took an hour and a half on the phone on that one. You know how that is, Troy.
I do.
Yeah. And they told me the same story.
Yep.
You are going to be paying taxes on your Social Security.
I thought, Soldier Boy, I just want in your defense. I mean, to your point, I thought the same thing when he said that. I go, oh, that's weird. I didn't know that happened.
Well, I did IA. I checked IA. I called Social Security, and I called the IRS.
Good.
And they all confirmed the same thing.
Well, they means tested it. So under 25 grand, no tax on Social Security benefits for individual filers. 25 to 34 grand in benefits, up to 50% of your benefits may be taxed. And over 34 grand, up to 85% of your benefits may be taxed.
Okay, well, you know what, Troy? I feel bad now that I got a military retirement check. Excuse me. But Joey, let me ask you a question. With inflation the way it is right now, $35,000 or more, you can't live off of that, a single person, hardly.
And then there's also a temporary senior deduction all the way to 2028 that allows filers over age 65 to deduct up to $6 grand as a single filer, or 12 grand for married
couple. If you decide to take it as if you decide to take it, if you don't have more than $6,000 worth to write off, correct?
Yeah, right.
But you were talking, so I just wanted to say that, Mr. Trump, okay? Don't say that broad blanket, okay? Second thing I wanted to talk about real quick. When I went to the voting last time, you were talking about voting. I'm going to try to stay on topic.
Nice.
When we got on voting, I asked a lady, I said, do people come in here and actually try to vote without proper ID? And this poor lady of color, I love her because they've moved my voting location, even though I haven't moved, but they've moved my location maybe 2 or 3 times in the 20 years I've voted. Mm-hmm. And she's always comes over and waves her hand at me to come over to register in with her. She is so sweet. She remembers me. I just love this lady because she's always, I said, do people really come in here and to register? I mean, without registration and try to vote? She says, you'd be surprised. I said, let me ask you, of that people that vote in, how much do you think it is? Maybe 40, 30, 20%? She says about 15, 20% of the people that come in try to come in without registration, proper identification. Unbelievable.
Tells you a little bit about our culture, because I'm going to guess that a lot of them are legitimately citizens, but they don't even have an ID. They have no driver's license, no state-issued ID. Wait a
minute. In Alabama, Troy, you can have a hunter's license.
I'm telling you.
Alabama hunter's license, and you can a fishing license. You can that also counts too. There's about 15 different identifications that are accepted.
Yeah, but why would you not have any of those? And that's the thing. So.
Exactly. Well, that's suspicious, isn't it? Yeah, it's kind of fishy.
Well, either that or stupidity on the part of some of our citizens.
Well, we got stupidity seems to be rampant. There's no cure for it either. That's the sad thing about it. Can't go to the hospital for that one. And the third thing I want to talk about, Troy, to you, have you seen the new planes now that are dropping and off their wing, and they're having drones as their wingman?
It's called Loyal Wingman Program. The Air Force has been
cool.
It's really cool. And why the F-35 at Danley is so important, as I told Joey the other day, and on the 1819 News podcast, check it out. I just was with Brian Dawson discussing it. That thing, the Tech Refresh 3 version that we have at Danley, is the king of data link, and it can control up to 180 to 200 autonomous vehicles out of AI with
and they say it's even like a a couple of 1,000% more accurate than a regular missile that's fired
It is.
from the aircraft itself.
And think about
Because once
this.
it drops off, it has its own computer and its own tracking
It
system.
does. It has its own autonomous programming that it knows what to do and contingencies. Here's what's important, why it's important. If you get into a furball with another fighter or whatever, those things can peel off and take rounds against you, and then you can, they can jump on the grenade.
Let's have Maverick Top Gun 3 because no longer is your wingman. Remember in his first one, don't leave me. You're my wingman. Now I got a drone as a wingman.
So you know what, Soldier Boy and Joey, Cinco says it best. This new fight and this new battle space is all beyond visual range. Everything is extended far out. So
yeah. Well, I got to run, man. I got to hit this break. I got to talk to
Watch the
Austin.
videos of it, Troy. The videos are cool.
I've seen them. Yep, good call.
Thanks, Soldier Boy. I've seen them too. They're pretty cool.
They're neat. Hey, I've got something for you.
Yeah.
So the hadith, I want to tell you about this hadith real fast. It's only 2 paragraphs. The hadith of the Prophet Muhammad in the desert with dark-skinned people. A well-known hadith describes a nocturnal event narrated by Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, in which the Prophet Muhammad took him on a journey after performing the Isha prayer to Mecca. They went to a wide valley near Mecca, where the Prophet drew a line in the sand for Ibn Mas'ud and told him, "Stay within it. If you leave, you will perish in hellfire." When Ibn Mas'ud remained inside, he watched the Prophet go some distance. Then dark-skinned beings appeared, described in the Hadith as resembling people from Al-Zut, a term historically linked to the dark-skinned peoples from regions such as North Africa. These figures were tall, lean, and naked, and they approached the Prophet. According to the narration, they rode the Prophet all night, circled around, who was terrified, and he sat down, and they continued to ride. The Prophet recited the Quran to them continuously until dawn, after which they departed. The Prophet returned to Ibn, looked heavy, tired, bloodied, and in pain, and placed his head on Masud's lap to sleep.
Which one is that?
That's the Hadith. Just look at it. It's called the Hadith. I don't have the number on it, but it's the Hadith about the Prophet Muhammad in the desert with dark-skinned people. It's like a sermon. It's the same thing. People go, "What's a hadith?" It's like a parable.
I don't know. I just
it's true.
Especially a religion I don't know that's in a different language.
It's Jami al-Tirmidhi 2861.
2861.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got to hit this break. I got to talk to Austin Branco. Anyway, we'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
You want your floors to scream new, fresh, and stylish. But if yours are groaning, tired, old, and outdated, you're in luck. Because at Prattville Carpet, you can revitalize your floors while you save on the best brands available with perfect and professional installation and Prattville's unbeatable lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Start shopping for your floors right now at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
The River Region's first and only News Talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let me go to line 3 here. Couldn't get Austin, so let's go to somebody who's been patiently holding. You're on there as this.
It's Pat.
Hey, Pat, how are you?
I'm doing good. Just quick comment on Soldier Boy's question on the Social Security.
Yeah.
When they passed the big, beautiful bill, I don't remember the specifics, but they couldn't include Social Security, the no tax on Social Security in that bill. So what they did was they give you a $6,000 credit. My son's my accountant, and when he did my taxes this year, basically when it comes to the Social Security, they give you a $6,000 credit. You still got to pay some tax on your Social Security, but they try to make it a wash that way.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Congress.
Yeah, and that's the thing. To get it included, it requires something that Congress wasn't willing to do.
It's a shame. Well, you probably shouldn't say it. My grandfather, every time we watch a Trump speech, he's like, you can't decrease things by 200%.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah. And I liked your comment. They wouldn't cover the speech, but they spent 2 hours lambasting the speech afterwards. I'm sitting on, I missed it. I didn't think about it. And I turned the TV on. We're at CBS, and they were going on and on. And the one guy said, there's no evidence anywhere that there's ever been any voter fraud. And I if I'd had a gun, I'd have blown my TV up. It's such BS.
A la Elvis Presley.
Good weekend.
A la Elvis Presley, kind of shoot the.
That's why you get foam bricks or something.
Is that why?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Y'all have a good one.
You have a good one, brother.
Appreciate it.
Well, there you go. $6,000 credit then.
So I was, anyway, well, we'll have to hit a break. First, this part of the program brought to you by Invista Advisors. And there at Invista Advisors, Austin Branco and that great team are ready to help you out with, anything in terms of your financial needs. Everything. Whether you're an individual or you got a family, maybe you're running a business, maybe you're running a charity or nonprofit, any sort of financial needs you might desire. In particular, they can help you on the investment side of the house.
Absolutely.
Austin runs the brokerage desk there at Invista Advisors. So if you need help managing that portfolio, they're really, really good at it. Depending on where you are in life and sort of risk thresholds and these sorts of things, they'll sit down and get to know you and get that plan going. But it's beyond just the investment stuff. They can, of course, help you with things like insurance, maybe getting things buttoned up for end-of-life concerns, estate things. Maybe it is like a charity or nonprofit you started and you used to be able to run it yourself, and now it's so popular that, you need some help. You need some consulting help.
That would be great.
So any financial concerns, just get in touch with Invista Advisors. You can always just start that conversation at 387-0094. That's 387-0094. And be sure to tell them that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. In his nationwide address last night, President Trump called on Congress to ensure ballot integrity by passing the Save America Act. And House Speaker Mike Johnson says that that's something that's going to happen in the very near future. They're going to tie that legislation to a major reconciliation bill, which means it should be able to pass the Senate easily. Wildfires burning in Canada and Minnesota, sending smoke into the lower 48 states. Studies show that wildfire smoke in particular attacks nearly every system in the human body. It contains microscopic particles that can penetrate deep into the lungs and into the bloodstream. That can trigger respiratory and cardiac emergencies, among other problems. On Wall Street, it's been slow going all day long. This final trading day of the week has the Dow right now off by about 190 points. This is SRN News.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really helped me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-5331. 800-499-5331. 800-499-5331.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Victoryland. The winning is 24/7 at Victoryland. Go where the winners go every day, and you can be a winner too. Victoryland, I-85, exit 22, shorter. Admission 19 and over.
Well, hi, everybody. Pretty standard July summertime forecast today with mostly sunny skies mixed in with some clouds. I'm easing the temperature up a little bit, closer to 94 with triple-digit heat indices. and 70s at night. Roughly the same scenario tomorrow. Rain chances, generally speaking, you could argue 30% coverage, which is standard for a summer day. We may bring up the chances just a notch on Saturday and Sunday as we watch that low in the northeastern Gulf that could develop into a tropical system. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. The city of Montgomery has announced a strong financial position. A city spokesperson affirmed Montgomery is fully prepared to responsibly support the proposed $375 million bond package. The proposal by Mayor Stephen Reed includes funding for a downtown convention center, a new sports complex, and an amphitheater. Montgomery's sanitation department has added temporary vehicles to its fleet. 6 white rental trucks are being used as a stopgap while the department deals with maintenance needs, repairs, and staffing changes. The rentals cost about $6,500 per month each, paid for with city tax dollars. It remains unclear how long the rental trucks will be necessary. Governor Kay Ivey has appointed a new state tourism director. The appointment comes following Lee Sentinel's retirement announcement on Wednesday. Governor Ivey named Glenda Allred as the new tourism director. Allred is a Huntington College graduate who previously served as Alabama's deputy state treasurer. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
What are you getting? Still deciding, but I do know on August 11th, I'm choosing Rhett Marcus for Congress. Why Rhett Marcus? Because he's a true conservative, endorsed by President Trump and Senator Katie Britt. Oh, then you can trust him. And he's a small business owner, not a politician. Sounds like this choice on August 11th is the easiest decision we'll ever make.
Remember to vote on August 11th. I'm Rhett Marcus, the Trump-endorsed candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Rhett for Alabama.
A new year brings new opportunities, and right now the market is starting to shift.
Interest rates are beginning to come down, which means more buying power and more options for buyers who've been waiting.
If you're thinking about buying a home, this could be the moment to take that next step.
And whether you're buying, selling, or investing, having experience on your side matters more than ever.
At Hannah and Eddie Realty Group, we're also growing our team.
If you're an experienced agent ready to make a difference in this market and want to be part of a team that values knowledge, support, and results, call Hannah and Eddie Realty Group, where opportunity meets experience.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back. There's Joey Clark. Second hour of the program. Troy Kerka is still in the studio here. And, well, something I want to jump into here is, they're in Maine. There was a big thing that the guy with the Nazi death squad tattoo.
Yeah.
Then he was, I have to say, I did not suspect that the guy with the Nazi death squad tattoo could be a little rough with women.
Yeah, I heard he's a choker. He's a choker.
Like, that's crazy. Get out of town.
Slap him around a little bit.
Really?
James, who was that? James, who was the guy, the musician?
You
probably have the...
James Brown?
No. Come on. Shut up. Biatch. And he slapped her. Rick James.
Rick James. Yeah.
Did the old Rick
cocaine's
James.
a hell of a drug.
It sure is. It's make you an owl, homie.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug. But, because Plattner got out of the race, they are having to scramble.
They are.
Up there in Maine. And they just did a debate. Okay. And so,
how's the talent pool up there, Joey? What's Maine?
Well, there's some folks that are like the normal person that runs for office sort of thing. And you're like, yeah, whatever. And actually, this person that everybody's starting to remark on is, I kind of am like, well, I would still listen to them and be like, what's your full story, man? Like, are you all right? But this is just a short clip.
Okay, let's take a look.
And
looks pretty professional there.
And let's see what the person goes by the name Ashley Webb.
It's really Austin Webb.
Yeah, or something. Well, Ashley's one of those
large ladies.
No, Ashley could be a dude's name.
That's right. It could be. But that's only down south of the Mason-Dixon line.
Right. No, but I've heard.
I like it. I like it. I'm digging. All right, continue.
And so this is Ashley Webb, folks, running for your United States Senate in Maine.
Oh, I ran for office several times.
No, Joey.
No, but listen to this. It's kind of like, don't think about the trans thing.
Okay.
Just think it's like
several times.
Think of it as some dude.
Okay.
I'm
not looking. I'm just listening.
And just some dude run for office, and he's trying to pitch you. Don't even think about the trans angle.
Oh, I ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books. And then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people, and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now.
My goodness, this is therapy for him.
No, but when I heard that, I wouldn't lie to people and stuff, I'm like, I kind of believe you. In your own mind, you would not.
I'm not lying that
I'm getting. It almost reminded me of Fetterman too.
My good. Oh my gosh, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, and.
Oh, I ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books.
Like walks
and
on the
then
beach.
I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people, and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now.
I think he's being sincere. I know that sounds strange.
And then they're in their own mind. No, and because so many of these people that run for office, that you see funny. That it's like
so funny.
You're never going to know. What are you doing with your life? This is not
the lure of power. So great. Have to run it all. They become destroyed as a result of it and consumed by it.
Yeah, and I've also seen it in certain, especially the libertarian world. Fringe circles attract fringe folks, and it's just
being a libertarian will cure you of a lot of ailments.
Yeah, no, and it's just I look at Ashley Webb, and I'm like, what happened to you, man? Let's sit down.
In Maine, and have you ever been to Maine? It's a strange place.
My mother was born there.
You told me that.
But she didn't live there.
Heavily French influence, believe it or not. There are a lot of French influence there. Mm-hmm. It's a strange place, man. So your mom was from there. What part, do you know?
I can't remember what time.
But she just was born there.
Yeah, when my grandfather, where would he have been stationed?
They had an Air Force base up there.
Strategic Air Command.
Yeah, Strategic Air Command now was, I don't think that was SAC up there.
Okay.
But there was an airfield, and they closed it 25, 30 years ago, I'm thinking. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
anyway, they're doing all right in Maine in terms of their politics.
So we got a Nazi death head guy that
we went from that's an improvement. This guy's like, I'm a songwriter.
I'm a songwriter too.
And
I write books.
And there's another clip saying, look, I'll go into whatever bathroom you want me to go into. I'll go into the men's bathroom. I just don't want to be assaulted. I'm like, what is
he said that?
Yeah. I'm like,
why aren't we playing that?
You sweet soul. What happened to you?
He's just been beat down.
Maine. What happened to you?
He lives in Maine.
Yeah, it's cold.
It's
and
dreary
there too. And there's not a lot of light.
Swamp
in
Yankees,
parts
I
of
call them. Swamp Yankees.
I'm just like, I don't know. A lot of folks, of course, making fun of this online like crazy.
Poor guy.
Because it is it's right out of a comedy skit from a couple decades.
This is the Democrats. This is where we're at now.
Yeah. And you're just like, It's the whole package, baby.
Oh, I ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then
Nice try.
It kind of reminds me of that dude from Parks and Rec, Jared. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did.
Who has the really hot wife and daughter. Yeah.
Nice
oh, I
try.
ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books. And then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people, and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now. Like,
I want to pray for this person.
We should pray
seriously.
for him. But perhaps he maybe.
I feel bad.
Yeah, it's
like,
sad.
what are you doing?
He's not the kind that's flamboyantly trying to make you accept him.
Oh,
He's
it's
just like, I
it's a nice
struggle most of my
floral-
life.
It's a
Yeah.
nice floral dress.
It's very, yeah, it's very nice. Very
No,
nice.
it's kind of a moo-moo. It's kind of like an old lady
yeah,
moo-moo.
It is a moo-moo.
Yeah.
Poor guy, or gal, or whatever he is.
No.
Something bad happened. His father failed him somewhere.
Like, anyway. And this is.
Thanks for sharing. That makes me feel a lot better about where the Democrats are going.
At least I want to hear some of those songs.
Yeah, what do you think? I bet we could find on. You keep talking. I'll keep searching.
Yeah, I want to find one of
Ashley
those.
Webb, was it?
Ashley Webb song.
Okay, let's see what
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
It's Papa B.
Hey, Bob B. How you doing?
Yeah, so this is the new Democrat candidate. Is that what you're saying?
That was
Webb
one of
guy?
the candidates. There was
One of
four
four,
people
yeah.
up there trying to run for the. Yeah, the guy who had the Nazi tattoo, who was
Grand
rough with the
Plaster.
ladies.
Grand Plaster.
Like, who was so shocking. And
Dude,
yeah,
you've heard of the Great White Hope. Graham Plattner was the Great White. Nope, we ain't
funny.
doing that one.
Beta.
They play these identity politics so blatantly, and so now I guess they think that all white guys are, kind of limp-wristed, and so we're going to throw this guy up there and see what he can do. I don't think it's going to work. What do y'all think?
I don't think it's going to work either.
Maybe she's got a career in the music industry.
No, seriously, seeing this person, I want to be like, what? Tell me your whole story. Like, what happened?
Looking at it right now.
Like,
What happened?
now there's some of the, especially the trans activists that get real political, where I'm like, like, I don't want to talk to you. Go away.
This one, you want to figure out what happened.
This person, I'm more like, what happened,
man?
to
What
you,
happened,
dude?
brother?
I wanted to just go into this the voter fraud thing and all.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of amazing, really, to hear the Democrats wail and scream about it all. The problem is with me, it's the evidence is smacking everybody in the face. That's left, right, and sideways. The evidence is prima facie, as Rudy Giuliani said. You see it. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to wonder about it. It's right there in front of you. And, the real problem is that I guess people are allowing themselves to just have a Jedi mind trick played on them with the gaslighting. Oh, you didn't see what you thought you saw. Oh, it's just false allegations. No, these are just, wild conspiracy theories. Don't worry about those suitcases coming out from under the table. That's just move along. Don't worry about it. I just don't understand why. Of course, people are upset. Well, we got 80% of the people in the country now wanting the Save America Act or for our elections to be secured.
Yeah.
And the Republicans won't go ahead and do that.
Well, only a few. It's just a few there in the Senate that have been there a long, long time. It's interesting.
Very interesting. What do you think that we're actually going to have action on the Save America Act, Troy? Think that's actually
I'm watching Papa B. I'm watching it last night with Robin. Robin goes, well, why would someone not want to support the Save America Act? I mean, shouldn't you have allies? And it's such to a disinterested, not disinterested, but not a politically motivated individual. Someone goes, well, that makes sense. Well, there you can only conclude one thing, can't you, Papa B? They want to destroy the fabric of everything we have, and that's how you do it.
And one of the strategies here is to make this, to add a budget aspect to this so you could get it done through reconciliation. But there are even those same senators that won't break the filibuster because they have over 50 votes to actually get the Save America Act in the Senate. They don't have the 60 vote threshold. And so, okay, let's do it through reconciliation. And those same senators that won't break the filibuster are saying, well, I don't know if we want to monkey around with the rules of the Senate parliamentarian. I'm like, oh, no!
I know. It's just, oh, man, it's enough to make you grind your teeth, I'm telling you.
And by the way, before you go, Papa B, it'd be fun to do this with you also on the phone. And there's another candidate that people were sending me yesterday. This one, and again, this person, I'm like, I kind of want to know more. It's from the Senate, or for the Senate, I believe in Michigan.
Okay.
If I can find this.
I sent you her song. It's got
found the song of Ashley
Palpatine.
Webb.
Emperor Palpatine's in it. You got to.
Emperor Palpatine. Is it?
Yeah. And it says, someone said, it's from her album, the next album she's releasing next month, Killing Us Softly with Her Vibes, Ashley Webb.
Okay.
The song, you got to play the song.
We'll have to preview it off air before we jump on there with it. But yeah, because who knows? But here is a woman running for Senate in Michigan named Haley Stevens. I want to know if she reminds you of anybody. Let's listen in together.
I am going to be working on our behalf. I am going to be telling the stories on our behalf. And you better believe I'm going to be doing it with a little bit of joy, a little bit of enthusiasm, a little bit of energy, and a little bit of stick it to them. Because that's the Michigan way.
Yeah. Go blue. Yeah. Go blue.
No, Papa, you can't see it, but there's so many folks going, that's Matt Foley, motivational speaker.
Oh, my God, it is.
Oh, my God.
Or someone from Beetlejuice.
Or a scene from Tommy Boy.
I am going to be working on our behalf. I am going to be telling the stories on our behalf. And you better believe I'm going to be doing it with a little bit of joy, a little bit of enthusiasm, a little bit of energy, and a little bit of stick it to them.
That's the Michigan. You know, she's
good. Go ahead.
No, she reminds me of Bobby Hill from King of the Hill. Do what I did.
You know who it reminds me of?
Who?
It reminds me of a female version of Chris Farley.
That's what Joey just said.
Yeah.
A man down by the river.
Yeah, the Matt Foley motivational speaker. Yeah.
She looks like she could have been, yeah.
No, it's like they might be related.
They might. Well, see, I didn't know the character name that Chris Farley had.
So but just from thinking about it, you're like, yeah, that's the Chris Farley motivational speaker. Yeah, exactly
that's
right.
Exactly right.
He looks scary.
I live in a van down by the river.
And this one part, even her motions, you can't see it, probably.
And you better believe I'm going to be doing it with a little bit of joy, a little bit of enthusiasm, a little bit of energy.
She's like literally
in the Dale Carnegie School of Sales. You can tell.
Yeah, like she's about to pull up her pants. Like
she's like, another thing you're gonna like. I'll show you my underwear.
Like she's trying to make David Spade crack up. Yeah. Right.
Look at her face.
Oh me. Yeah, gaslighting and now gas passing.
Yeah,
Chuck Schumer. We got it all with the Democrats.
That's funny.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a good weekend.
Appreciate it. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. So I put into Grok.
Yeah.
The thing that you sent me. And this is why I'm like, I stick to like, is it just theologically true or not?
Did you
Especially like, because I just literally copy pasted what you said.
The most recent one I sent, because there's 3 different hadiths.
And Grok said, this is a modern polemical distortion, not a faithful reading of the text.
No.
The claim you sent takes a disputed wording from certain narrations and forces a sexual meaning onto it that is not supported by the Arabic, the context, classical commentators, or the stronger parallel reports.
So it's semantics, and I can tell you this, it's not a good look for the prophet.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. I don't care what you say. Listen, it's about interpretation. I'm telling you, I'm not saying it's sexual, but he went there and said, stay behind this line or you'll burn in hell. And he went and frolicked with these naked men.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good look, Joey.
Yeah, well, the key word they're saying, which I don't know Arabic, but the to ride or to mount
means to it's not.
Classical Arabic is also used for following closely.
Right, and it's to be in close
pressing
proximity.
upon someone or crowding around. Classical explanations of this specific report and parallel narrations understand it as the beings crowded tightly around the prophet in their eagerness to hear the Quran.
Oh, okay.
Exactly as the Quran itself describes. Other versions of the same incident simply say they crowded around him without using the particular word that's being translated.
But he was tired. He was tired and heavy after he rode with him. Here's the thing: would you want Jesus in that picture? No.
No.
Okay, there you go. That's how I answer it.
Right, but I don't know. I think I could find parts of, say, the Old Testament and without understanding it, especially if it's like somebody's having an argument about what the original Hebrew or Greek meant. I'm like,
well, that is problematic because everything was in Greek in the original context. But you're right. I'm just sharing this hadith that I've stumbled into, and there's been many shows made on it, and it's not a good look, I think. But that's just me.
272-9228, 334-272-9228.
Want to go camping?
No, not after a story like that. Like, don't be drawing any lines around.
No. Don't you stay right there, Joey.
Right.
I'll be back. So what else we got there, huh? Yeah, we got to check out. I'm going to check that song out at break.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hit the break. Listen to this song because you found the song from the person running in Maine.
Yes.
It's Ashley Webb, Donald Trump.
Coming Out of the Closet is that name of the album, Killing Them Softly with Her Vibes. And it's about Donald Trump. And someone wrote, I can't believe you don't have 10,000 subscribers. This song's awesome. That's probably her.
Well, we're going to preview it. See what it's like.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here are several ways to attract more buyers to your home. First, price it right to sell, not to sit. An accurate market analysis will tell you what price it should be. Next, prepare the home to show and sell by deep cleaning by a professional cleaner, including carpet. Declutter all rooms, including closets. Evaluate flooring, replace if needed. Paint inside and out where needed. And make the kitchen and bath sparkle. How about the exterior? Are the colors faded on the shutters or fascia? Power washing them and all sidewalks and driveways and patios prior to listing the house. Remember, your price and curb appeal will create a showing appointment. Your condition of the house will make them stay and look longer and buy quicker. For all the steps you need to take to get your house ready for sale, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 334-221-2883 or 334-551-0225.
Clogged drain? Overflowing septic? Don't panic. Call the experts who've been solving plumbing problems in the river region for more than 50 years. The Tierce family's local Roto-Rooter team specializes in fast drain cleaning, septic repair, and installation. One call and your troubles are on their way down the drain. That's 272-7130 or visit rotorooteralabama.com. Roto-Rooter, always here when you need us.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And legal troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. In a second, I want to go to Secretary Rubio because apparently there are a lot of folks. I've noticed something. Like, there are a lot of folks praising Rubio, but those same folks are like really crapping all over Vance. And I'm kind of happy to see Vance and Rubio do well and give them both credit.
I agree.
But there is a clear, and like, I'm sorry, if you mention Israel in any way that's slightly critical, that's obviously factual. How many folks in the Israeli government are literally trying to torpedo any sort of conversation or deal?
I agree.
It's obvious. Like, and then it's obvious from like all the folks here in America, the way y'all react. But of course, those same folks are going to be like, no, see, that's just proof. You calling us out is just proof of our accusations.
It's inflammatory
Against you. And so it's like, I would love to see, like, let Rubio do something that's awesome. Let Vance do something that's awesome.
Yeah.
I thought the Vance interview with Rogan was all right.
I thought it was too.
But anyway, that just drives me a little crazy. But, you know, since, like, I had to fact check your Hadith thing,
Sure.
I threw in something into Grok that I've run across with different podcasts. It's called the Islamic Dilemma. And it's one of the most frequently used arguments in Christian via Muslim apologetics that Christians will throw at Muslims. And it's a logical challenge aimed at the internal consistency of the Quran's claims about previous scripture. The Quran repeatedly makes two claims that appear to collide: that the previous scriptures are genuine revelation from God and still authoritative. Then the Quran also says it is the final perfect revelation that corrects and supersedes everything before it. It claims to confirm and guard the previous books. This produces a sharp either or. If the Bible, as existed in the 7th century and today, is reliable, then the Quran is wrong when it contradicts it. Islam is thus false. If the Bible has been corrupted, then the Quran is wrong when it affirms the reliability and authority of those same scriptures and tells people to judge by them. Thus, Islam is false. In either case, the argument concludes Islam cannot be true. And that's one I've just run across quite often.
Well, you're looking at the you're looking at the definite theology of it all. I can tell you, I've lived with them. I have fought them. They are not in any way going to regress or to progress or change their view. They will only become more polarized. And Tommy Tuberville's right. And I would take it a step further. You need to relocate them. End of story.
272-9228. 334-272-9228. Now, speaking of high testosterone.
Yeah, men's health?
No.
Okay.
Did you see what Hexeth is doing? The story that just came out.
Well, he's been doing a lot lately. What? Regarding the Blue Angels?
Well, there's that, which is great. People complaining about flyovers.
Oh, yeah, no, they're starting a program for TRT in the military.
Yeah, Pentagon implements mandatory testosterone screening for people over 30.
Been doing that 25 years.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. High T Department of War. Yeah, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth announced the initiative Wednesday. Younger service members will be able to opt in voluntarily. The initiative is based on research showing that testosterone naturally declines with age and can be depleted further by physical demands of military service. The announcement follows a study by the U.S. Army Research Institute of Environmental Medicine, which argued that testosterone replacement therapy could help with weight loss and increase lean muscle mass under certain conditions. Yeah. The initiative aims to improve operational performance while we invest heavily in our weapon systems, platforms, and gear. Our most decisive tactical advantage will always be the individual warfighter. We have a sacred duty to maintain that advantage, said Hegseth. We owe our warriors the absolute best medical care in the world. The program delivers on that obligation. Taking care of your long-term health means ensuring you remain strong, resilient, and capable, not just for your next deployment, but for the rest of your life.
You know, what's funny is I have been under, I started my care under a Special Forces doctor, a flight surgeon, and because we would deploy a lot and it keeps you from wasting when you're calorically deprived and all that. Well, I can tell you this, they process people out of the military for using steroids. You know what I'm saying? Even under doctor's care. And now they've come full circle and said, hey, this works. So interesting. Very good. I'm glad to see that.
And yeah, you mentioned the flyovers thing.
Yeah.
And
all those lawn chairs, babies crying and stuff.
Well, but it starts not with Hegseth, though. We'll get to Hegseth, but Acting Secretary of the Navy Hung Cao. It's a great name.
Listen, an incredible human being,
Yeah.
an incredible Secretary of the Navy, a great, great dude by all accounts for people that know him.
Yeah, Acting Secretary of the Navy Hung Cao said the flight debrief was complete and there would be no reprimands or firings, and there was no problem after the Navy's Blue Angels drew widespread attention with a wildly low flyover on a Florida beach. Cal tweeted, "That's the sound of freedom, Semper Fi, and hooah!
Victory."
And Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and other Trump allies also took to social media to weigh in. The video shared online showed beachgoers cheering as 2 Blue Angel jets with the flight demonstration team made a low pass over Pensacola Beach on Wednesday. Yeah, and it's Pensacola. That's happening around there all the time.
That's
right?
where they're based. Yeah. Whiting Field down there. Yeah.
Who's complaining?
No, it was liberal media trying to throw darts. Did you see the one? My baby was crying. There was sand being blown up.
Hegseth posted on X, the flyovers will continue until morale improves.
That's right.
Sean Purnell shared a photo of one of the aircraft performing a maneuver during the flyover and wrote, "Carry on, Patriots." Eric Trump also responded by sharing an ABC News report on X, writing, "Can't stand the manufactured outrage by the low-T mainstream media. This was undoubtedly the highlight of these people's day."
Absolutely.
Especially 'cause, like, my dad lives down there. It's Pensacola, baby. Like, he lives on the Alabama side of the line.
Panhandle. Listen, think about what you got there. You've got Pensacola Naval Air Station, Whiting Field. You've got Tyndall Air Force Base in Panama City. You've got Okaloosa, Walton, Hurlbut Field, and there's another air base right there. And then you got Panama City Naval Station, where NAVSEA, is it NAVSEA?
And it really,
and it was Mine Warfare Center there.
And this event, this flyover happened at a Memorial Annual Breakfast with the Blues.
Right.
Which marks the start of Red, White, and Blues Week and gives spectators a chance to watch the Navy's flight demonstration squadron practice over the Gulf. So the whole point of being out there was to watch them fly.
That's right.
And often the problem when you go see like one of these squadrons is like they're too far away, and it's still amazing from far away. So to see one buzz you right over the sand,
what more could you ask for?
You probably go, I crap my pants and they're on my side.
That's right.
Can't imagine if they weren't on my side.
Eglin Air Force Base is the other one.
Eglin. Okay.
So, I mean, think about how many bases you have there. That is their lifeblood down there. People aren't upset by that. They love it. Give them more.
Anyway, I just I like the the high tea nature of
nice?
of these sorts of things.
Isn't that nice? Mm-hmm. They are recognizing it, and hey, it's
Anyway, we got to hit another break. First, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and they're at Pest Pro. Ashley and that great team are, well, ready to help you out with any and all your pest control needs. In fact, go ahead, sign up for their basic package. It's a monthly subscription, and they'll come out on a regular basis, spray around the property. Don't even have to come inside and get the job done. Now, if you have a particular issue inside, I'm sure they'll come outside, but don't really have to once Pest Pro actually gets any sort of issues under control. And, of course, they can also help you if a little critter is trying to make a home out of your home. Or maybe it's a big critter trying to make a home out of your home. They can help you with wildlife control, also termite inspection and protection. With all this rain and heat, you might want to check that out. And, of course, with all this rain and heat, mosquitoes,
And fire ants, too.
No, fire ants as well.
When it rains, they push all the way up to your house, man.
They can help you across the board there at Pest Pro. Great growing local company. Ashley has put together a great team serving all the river regions. So you can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. Or just call them direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joy and Troy, the Soul on the Radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector.
That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig?
No, but it looks like you do.
And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich?
What's that?
I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man.
You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist?
That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE.
You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest.
You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience.
Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold.
That's right, man.
And I can see that you don't have very much experience.
What do you mean, man?
Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich.
Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first.
You think he's got a shovel?
Never know till you ask.
I dig, man.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Point. Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Oh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at Metamucil.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Truckers, listen up. A $2,500 sign-on bonus only at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Work for a company that puts God and family first. 855-777-9785. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. No big surprises in the forecast as we go into the weekend. We will be watching the Northeast Gulf for possible low-pressure development. That could bring additional moisture into the area, so we'll take the rain chances up a notch. Tonight, most towns stay dry, overnight low temperature in the 70s. I've got the Saturday high around 93, 94, and lower 90s on Sunday as well. By the way, we could reach the upper 90s for a high by early next week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Back to school shopping starts now, and ASC Credit Union has you covered. Our back to school loan helps you pay for supplies, laptops, clothes, and more. Stop by your local ASC branch or apply today at yourasccu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Welcome back. So yesterday, a lot of top officials for the Trump administration all got together.
Yep.
And we're talking about the threat of terrorism. Now, they touched on Islamic terrorism for a while, but then they made a big shift to talking about
domestic terrorism.
Domestic left-wing terrorism.
Yes.
And Marco Rubio and Stephen Miller really took it to task. Scott Besson also got in on the
Good.
action. But let's listen in to Rubio here.
For far too long, however, our counterterrorism doctrine has had a blind spot when it comes
to extremist violence from the political left. Even today, the very idea that far-left terrorism could be a serious threat is treated as a right-wing fever dream, or worse, as a dangerous fascist conspiracy. It's treated this way by many in the press, by many in academia and our universities, and by many of our legacy institutions. You will no doubt see the dogma rear its head in the coverage of this very conference. In spite of the clear and the undeniable reality, in spite of the objective numbers and statistics, in spite of the fact that in this room today, there are representatives from across the political spectrum, we will hear this kind of organized violence and terror will be dismissed. It will be dismissed as a partisan fiction. A whole industry grew up in our countries around the study of extremism. We have think tanks and fellowships and journals and consultancies with the unspoken understanding among them that the only kind of political violence that was a true threat to our system, that only one kind of political violence was a true threat to the system. A bomb planted by a neo-Nazi group was a nefarious and murderous act of evil. It is. But a bomb planted by a Marxist revolutionary, well, that's just merely a tragic excess of idealism. Perhaps its means were misplaced or overzealous, but its ends were virtuous and just. That's the implication of how they treat it. For years, this extraordinary ideological prejudice was embedded in the way we talked about political violence and extremism. It was repeated again and again until it was accepted as the neutral and objective baseline, so entrenched in the mainstream conventional wisdom that it came to be regarded as an apolitical fact. It is the reason why, here in my country, so many people in positions of power have repeatedly dismissed acts of violence and even terrorism as legitimate forms of political expression, so long as they served a left-wing cause. It is why during those so-called George Floyd riots in the summer of 2020, as criminals and extremists burned and looted their way through America's great cities and nearly brought the country to its knees, city governments all across the country simply refused to prosecute the people conducting these acts of violence and terror. It is the reason for the now infamous image, maybe you all recall this, of a news anchor from a very prominent agency, a news anchor standing in a neighborhood consumed in flames. Meanwhile, the chyron on the bottom read that the protests were mostly peaceful. This was something worse than a double standard. Left-wing violence was not just excused, it was treated as sacrosanct, a protected class unto itself. That era has to end.
Damn good speech.
Absolutely. And it's to the point. We have internal insurgents amongst us being funded by outside and inside sources. They must be eradicated.
You know what? It's such a damn good speech. I'm going to keep going with more of it. And this is Marco Rubio. And I have to say, this is presidential material. And I would say both him and Vance would be a great president at this moment. A lot of problems, perhaps, but I'm more judging it on terms of delivery and getting to the meat.
Yeah.
Let's listen in.
More than 80% of radical violence is now driven by far-left and anarchist actors. These are not abstract statistics. Americans have seen what those numbers mean. An all-out assault on our immigration officers, sniper attacks, explosives, armed ambushes, a transgender shooter opening fire on Catholic elementary school students as they pray, his gun marked with slogans like, "Where is your God now?" A healthcare executive executed in cold blood in the streets. Multiple assassination attempts on a sitting president. And the murder of the greatest conservative activist of a generation. A man who happened to also be a husband and the father of 2 young children, shot and killed while speaking to a crowd of students. This is a distinctive and unique evil. It has always been driven by a hatred, above all else, a hatred for civilization itself. It is a revolt of the worst against the best, a revolt of the weak and the cowardly against the strong and the good. It is perpetrated by those who cannot build, who cannot create, who cannot achieve great things and take their revenge upon the world for their own inadequacy by seeking to destroy those who can. This is what radical leftism is. It may wear various different slogans and ideologies across place and time. They can call themselves anti-capitalists or anti-imperialists or communists or anarchists or Marxists, but the fundamental character is always the same. It's always the same. It is a poisonous resentment cloaked in the language of equality and justice and liberation, an overwhelming need to tear down what greater men have built, to wreck what is beautiful and what is right on behalf of people who are only filled with ugliness and have nothing else to offer the world. Through violence and through terror, they once again seek to impose their ugliness on all of us.
Damn good speech.
He's very good. He's extremely poised and well done.
272-9228. Let's go real quick to the phones. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, it's Charles the First. Hey, Joey, Troy.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I kind of like Rubio a little better than the vice president because I don't like the Peter Thiel connection of the vice president. But I was going to tell you the president was very brilliant in what he did yesterday. Let me tell you why. Before in 2020, when he and all of his attorneys tried to say that there was something wrong with the election, they said the timing was wrong and they should have brought it up lashes. You know what I'm talking about? Well, this is actually proof positive live on the air that he said that there were problems. So if they are, he has fulfilled lashes. Do you get what I mean? Latches, or L-A-C-H-E-S, however you might want to spell it.
I'm not a lawyer.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a very brilliant thing. That means he's covered the bases. That means ahead of time he has said there's something wrong. So that if there is a court circumstance, like they tried to show last time, they said it's too late. Well, you couldn't do it till the election. They were caught in a catch-22, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, Senator Ledlow sent you a little video to go along the lines of what you were showing there, if you get a chance.
Okay.
To take a look at it.
No, it makes
thanks
sense.
a
He's
whole lot.
laying down the predicate in case, you actually want to take a legal action after the fact.
Which is
makes
Right.
sense.
Yes, it gives him clout. Anyway, thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
You too, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know legal that. I'm working on my ecclesiastic.
Lashes. It's a bona fides. It's an establishment of a bona fides. So
Go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this? Hello? Anybody there?
We lost him.
Guess not then. Well, we need to hit a break anyway. This part of the program, in fact, the entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage, and they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon. They're ready to help you out with buying a home, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. But you don't have to be a first-timer to be looking for a great mortgage company. It's going to treat you right, treat you like a person.
Yep.
Get you the best possible deal, and especially if you're a veteran. There are a lot of veterans who I think get the runaround from some of the big banks. I think there are a lot of veterans who are misinformed. They tell other veterans just fibs, like myths about the VA mortgage system.
Right.
Maybe a veteran has a bad experience in the VA medical system, and they assume the mortgage side is all bad. It's like, no, that's not true.
One of the best in the game.
It is the best deal in towns, and they specialize in the VA mortgage there at Alabama Home Mortgage. And, of course, if you're looking for a refinance deal, veteran or not, they can help you out with that. So check them out today. That's Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online. They'll get in touch with you after you fill out those online applications at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you, like right now. Call them up now. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
There are those that think I'm a very stable genius.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael Hayter.
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
I'm real good. Real good. I'm ready for the weekend, though. Like, just ready.
Yeah, but people like you and me were ready. We were ready probably on Monday.
That's actually correct. How did you know?
Yes, I know.
So how's it going there at Cohen's on this Friday?
Man, it's going great. I just had a customer that's been a long-time customer that came in and been looking at this 75-inch Pro model made by Sony. It's their top of the line of everything they know how to make. Mini RGB, true RGB. They do it different from other companies. And it comes with the 3-year warranty from Sony. Anyway, we're going to get that installed for him next week. Probably Monday or Tuesday, depending on his schedule. So there's been a big surge of people coming in to buy nicer stuff and need it installed. And whether it's they also just bought a nice, I think it was a KitchenAid dishwasher. So, it's nice to have customers that want the best.
Yeah, always good to get nicer things, folks. And Cohen's has those nicer products. And, they got the folks that could actually provide the service to get it installed correctly. Maybe something you don't, often it's not an issue, but say a problem crops up later, you can still call Cohen's. They're going to help you out.
That's right. That's right. Come in, bring us some pictures, ask us some questions, let us ask you some questions, and let us help you make the right choice. Whether it's a washing machine, whether it's a television, a sound bar, a range, refrigerator, there's not a one size that fits everybody. Everybody's got a little different need depending on how your house is set up and the way that you're going to use it, whichever item component that you're looking at.
So y'all check them out today. Get by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael, be like, hey, I heard you on that radio show with no Mr. Bader.
Yep, he's dissing us, but it's good to have you and Troy.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And you know what? You're right, Mike. You only pay for quality one time, don't you, brother? And that's why you should go to Cohen's.
That's right. That's right. I mean, I was just talking to a customer that said he was looking for some 2-channel equipment, and he talked about some dealer he went to that said he's got him set up with a special switcher, and he'll listen to him and A/B him back and forth, no matter how long it takes until he can pick out the difference to know why he should, sell the better things. And I was like, I'm all for getting the best, but if it becomes a job to have to appreciate it,
amen,
then we just took out the entertainment part.
That's a great point. That's a great point. That's just work.
Back when I was 20, I remember reading all these tweaky magazines, and you'd read them, and it was like, it was like, how much dope did these people smoke so that they could hear all these differences? And you would listen to 15 or 20 seconds of Pink Floyd, and then you would switch it to Robbie Robertson, or you'd put on Famous Blue Raincoat with Jennifer Warnes, and you'd listen to all these little cuts, and it was like, oh my God, I heard it. I heard this. And I'm like, but we never got to enjoy the whole song or even the whole album.
It's just work. It's just work.
And it's like, this is not fun.
I like the way
I just want to listen and enjoy, whether it's the Eagles or Bob Seger or Tom Petty or some of the country artists. You just want to listen and enjoy, and don't make it a job.
Amen.
Amen.
So,
well,
y'all come see us. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, Michael. 272-9228. We're going to keep going with this counterterrorism thing. This is Scott Besson talking about how they're using some big boy tools now on these left
financial stuff.
Developing the world's most sophisticated financial counterterrorism capabilities. And now we are mobilizing some of the same tools that we have deployed against terrorists abroad to confront this emerging threat here at home. Like every form of illicit finance, these networks rely on the global financial system. It is our mandate to deny terrorist groups access to those channels. Now, we think of nonprofits and charities as good, altruistic organizations, and most of them are. We think they represent the very best of civil society. Many of them do. But the very qualities that make these institutions worthy of the public's trust can also make them appealing to those who endeavor to exploit them.
Yep.
At President Trump's direction, Treasury is expanding its efforts to identify organizations that abuse charitable and nonprofit structures as vehicles for illicit finance.
Amen, brother.
That's it, brother.
Which is quite a network.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, more on this with Stephen Miller. Apparently his speech is a barn burner. So
it usually is.
We're going to play the whole thing. Why not? We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
That's our news. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. A strong earthquake has struck the southern Mexican Pacific coast, right on the border with Guatemala. The U.S. Geological Survey reports it had a magnitude of 7.3. The epicenter was southwest of Aquiles, Sudan, near Chiapas. From the White House East Room last night, President Trump addressed the nation about the importance of election security. He also says that China played a role in trying to disrupt the 2020 election. Heat that hit Europe exceptionally hard and early this year appears to have led to a spike in deaths, with well over 10,000 more people dying at the height of the heat wave than would normally have been expected, according to figures that are still emerging across the continent. Measures of what researchers called excess mortality, that's the difference between the normal death rate and the actual number this year, spiked in late June. On Wall Street, it has been a slow day so far for investors right now. The Dow is down 355 points. This is SRN News.
Hi, I'm Kirk Cameron. Christian Healthcare Ministries is not another health insurance policy. If you're tired of year-long contracts and pointless restrictions, CHM offers anytime enrollment on your schedule and at your convenience. With CHM, you're paying half the cost of a traditional health insurance plan. So that puts more money back into your budget for everyday needs. Plus, you'll have access to CHM's care solutions for virtual appointments, prescription savings, surgery support, and more. My family and I joined in 2018, and it's changed our lives for the better. We love paying way less while helping other believers afford their medical bills. Take the leap of faith and see why Christians across the nation are better with CHM.
Get started by calling 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS for a 50% credit towards your first month. That's 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Victoryland. The winning is 24/7 at Victoryland. Go where the winners go every day, and you can be a winner too. Victoryland, I-85, exit 22, shorter. Admission 19 and over.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. No big surprises in the forecast as we go into the weekend. We will be watching the Northeast Gulf for possible low-pressure development. That could bring additional moisture into the area, so we'll take the rain chances up a notch. Tonight, most towns stay dry, overnight low temperature in the 70s. I've got the Saturday high around 93, 94, and lower 90s on Sunday as well. By the way, we could reach the upper 90s for a high by early next week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
1819 News.
The Republican candidate running in the Alabama Attorney General race is speaking about the goals she has for that office. Catherine Robertson is currently the chief counsel to Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall, so she's had a lot of experience in the past 8 years with the various lawsuits and cases that have gone on within that office. Robertson was on FM Talk 106.5 out of Mobile, where she referred to the recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling that supports the state of Alabama in drawing up congressional districts that are not based on race. Robertson said in light of this ruling, it's time to take on the federal desegregation rules that have tied the hands of school districts here in Alabama.
Antiquated court orders and antiquated views of our state are starting to go really out of style with the federal judiciary, at least the United States Supreme Court, because their logic in the redistricting decision would seem to apply the exact same way with these court orders from the 70s that treat Alabama school systems as if their number one goal is to, keep students segregated, which is ridiculous. And so given our good relationship with the Justice Department, I think is something that I just really want to see progress, if not total resolution of, before President Trump ends his term.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Covenant Rescue Group seeks to directly support organizations and agencies that are fighting the global battle against human trafficking. They do this through funding, procuring, and advocating. You can go to covenantrescue.org for further details. They need your donations, guys. Hop on and donate.
A Texas man was sentenced to 4 years in federal prison for trafficking illegal drugs into Alabama. 30-year-old Brandon Lopez of McAllen, Texas, entered a guilty plea to possession of 6 kilograms of cocaine with the intent to distribute. Lopez was sentenced this week by U.S. District Judge Anne Marie Axon. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
What are you getting? Still deciding, but I do know on August 11th, I'm choosing Rhett Marcus for Congress. Why Rhett Marcus? Because he's a true conservative, endorsed by President Trump and Senator Katie Britt. Oh, then you can trust him. And he's a small business owner, not a politician. Sounds like this choice on August 11th is the easiest decision we'll ever make.
Remember to vote on August 11th. I'm Rhett Marcus, the Trump-endorsed candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Rhett for Alabama.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
This is the Trump country. We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid. Yeah.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. So, Stephen Miller can really get going. Yeah, well, we got some footage here.
Let's see.
And let's watch and just enjoy this because it's Friday. I'm kind of in that Friday mood. So it'll be good to just let Stephen Miller do his thing. We can start and stop this, kind of react to it. But,
You know, every time I just want to, before you start this, every time I look at him, I think of Lando Calrissian's guard detail guy with some headphones on him going.
And look out for, like, he literally, like, will cock his neck and head. Like he's cocking a shotgun.
Yeah. That's
like, it's when he's about to make a certain zinger. But listen to him.
We have taken the necessary and essential action of formally recognizing left-wing violence as a form of political terrorism that is a direct threat to our national security and the survival of our Republican form of government. President Trump issued a directive, in our parlance, it's called a National Security Presidential Memorandum, or NSPM, NSPM 7 to be exact, that directs for the first time in American history all of our law enforcement and intelligence agencies to work together to disrupt, identify, defund, debank, arrest, and prosecute these political terrorists that are operating in our country. It's very important to understand that left-wing political terrorism seeks as its ultimate end the overthrow of our system and form of government. And we've seen this has taken place many times in many places throughout the years, and Secretary Rubio has provided you many examples. Left-wing terrorism always ends in bloodshed, misery, and suffering. It only can travel in one direction. There's no point at which the left-wing terrorist is satisfied with his gains and ceases progressing. Inevitably, left to run its course, it always becomes a gulag. It always becomes the mass imprisonment of political enemies, the stripping of their rights and freedoms, inflicting immense pain, humiliation, suffering, in order to establish complete and total control. Control through psychological and physical and actual terror. And we have to understand that that is the scope and the extent of the threat that we face. And as Secretary Rubio also pointed out, this is an international network. Antifa, as an example, operates in dozens of countries all throughout the world. They share common networks of funding, and organization, and information sharing. And so all of our intelligence agencies and law enforcement entities should be collaborating and coordinating and working together in order to root out these organizations. One of the hallmarks of left-wing violence and terrorism is its completely pretextual and disingenuous appeal to civil liberties in an effort to shield its own violence. This is the tactic that the left always uses to try to protect itself from facing criminal punishment. It is essential that we are wise enough and strong enough to understand that these appeals must fall on deaf ears. When the leftist, who does not believe in freedom, who does not believe in civil rights, who does not believe in any ordered notion of justice, protests that we are violating his rights, understand that he is lying to try to persuade people who are not closely following the political scene that some injustice has been perpetrated against him. We must stay the course and be completely unflinching in the pursuit of justice against these enemies of civilization. If the left is allowed to use the real or actual threat of violence to destabilize our institutions, then those institutions cannot and will not succeed. So here in the United States, for example, we saw in the recent past clear threats of violence against our Supreme Court to try to shape how they rule on upcoming decisions. The leftist does this with the full desire, intent, and understanding that the threat of violence against a public figure or their family is meant to cow them into behaving or acting or conducting themselves differently.
Did it go away?
I did.
Why did that happen? That's weird. Don't know why it stopped playing for me.
The left is jamming it.
Civilization is your home to the conditions in which this kind of violence can fester as a cancer and ultimately destroy a society. Nothing that we do works if the threat of violence and terror goes on unchecked. Our political systems don't work, our judicial systems don't work, our legal systems don't work, our jury trials don't work. And at the same time, we have to understand there's a real threat that those who are not themselves terrorists, but who support left-wing violence, will create the conditions that allow that violence to go on without any meaningful inhibition. So, to be specific, we've seen in some of our nation's cities in America, like Washington, D.C. and New York City, something, again, it's an American term, but it's known as jury nullification. This is when a person is obviously guilty of a crime, but the juror, because they're ideologically sympathetic to the perpetrator, will not sentence them to the crime which they've obviously committed. We've seen in the United States, again and again, individuals who are part of left-wing organizations who've committed assaults against ICE officers or federal law enforcement who've been brought to court where clear evidence has been presented against them, that the jury has refused to convict for purely political reasons. When you've reached that point, it demonstrates how deeply the cancer has begun to infest your society, where people have created an internal rationalization structure to justify unsanctioned violence against the state and state actors to achieve a political end. We have to use every lawful and legitimate tool that we have to demonstrate that justice will be served and delivered, and to prove that these kinds of tactics and techniques will ultimately fail. If the leftist learns and observes that their violence and criminal activity helps and ultimately succeeds in achieving their desired political end, they will be endlessly emboldened. Here in the United States, we've seen a growing and deeply alarming increase in attempted assassinations against public figures. Most notably, of course, the multiple assassination attempts against President Trump, the successful assassination attempt against Charlie Kirk, many others. This is a fatal cancer to civilization. And the greatest risk that we have is that our institutions have grown too soft and too cowardly
I've heard
to
that
be
somewhere.
able to defend themselves against a mortal threat.
You saw.
If your civilization is your home, you must defend it with the same passion and force as if an enemy intruder is inside your own house where your family lives. That is the level of dedication and urgency that is required. And the greatest threat is that even though there are far more of us, there are far more people who believe in order and civilization and liberty and the rule of law, is that if we are softer than those who seek to end us, then the smaller but more radical minority will succeed. It is easy to dismiss what I'm saying and to say, surely it cannot be that bad, it cannot be that dire. But again, I point to the examples in our own country where, for example, our Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which has been duly statutory authorized to carry out routine enforcements of immigration law, has been subjected to an over 8,000% increase in violent assaults. These are not one-off episodes. This is repeat, systemic, organized, funded insurrection and armed resistance against the federal government. There was a sniper from a sniper's nest who, using an assault rifle, tried to shoot ICE officers in Dallas, Texas. These are the episodes that we're talking about, where we have had repeated, direct, violent attacks on federal law enforcement in order to veto the ballot box with violence. And the leftist justifies this violence to himself by saying that they alone are the arbiters of what is right or wrong. Not the law, not history, not civilization, not public opinion, and certainly not God. The leftist assumes for himself judge, jury, executioner. But let's not pretend for a moment that these radical leftists, these terrorists, are operating from a place of sincere political conviction. Sure, there are plenty of useful idiots that they use who may believe these discredited ideologies. The leftist is fundamentally motivated by envy, by hatred, by jealousy. The leftist looks at what is beautiful and what is good and what is natural, and is filled with envy and hatred. The leftist looks at a perfect family with the perfect life and a perfect job and perfect kids, that goes to church every Sunday and is filled with a feeling of inadequacy and jealousy, and they covet, and they turn those emotions ultimately into a desire to subjugate, to oppress, and to inflict pain and suffering. It's not a coincidence that when you look at these violent Antifa demonstrations, you see any photograph of those who were assembled. To be blunt, not one of the people that is demonstrating looks like a normal person. Not one looks normal. They're all deformed in some way in their appearance, in their dress, in their mannerism. Why is that? Why, if you look at two photographs and you see a normal American street, you see an Antifa protest, why do the people that are violently demonstrating, why is there not one normal-looking person among them? Every one of them, through the course of their life and their decisions, has scarred their body and their appearance in many different ways, to the point in which their outer appearance becomes a manifestation of their inner hatred. Trust your instincts. To all people and across all civilizations, you know what normal is. You know what beautiful is. You know what good is. You know that families are right. You know that children are precious and beautiful and must be protected. You know that the criminal and the junkie and the predator is a threat to normal, healthy living. This is so much deeper than issues about taxation and regulation, although they're incredibly important. It's about normal, healthy, ordered living. And the violent leftists, for these deep-seated reasons, going back to the earliest wisdom taught to us in the Bible about coveting.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about
what I was about to say.
About rich versus poor. I'm talking about a much deeper kind of coveting. Coveting people who are morally superior, who are superior in the simple, truthful way they live their lives. People that they look at who are happy and ordered and peaceful and contributing to their communities. That burns an ember in them, and that's how you end up with the horrors we've seen throughout history, where good families are dragged out into the street and executed. And you might say, again, you're describing a future that seems impossible to conceive of. When it comes to preventing these horrors, it is the burden and the duty of good people of all walks of life to understand that you will always be accused of raising the alarm too loudly. If you wait until the point where the worst outcome is so obvious that no one can deny it, you've already lost the battle. That's the fundamental point. If you say, I will not raise this alarm until the threat is so present and so clear and so obvious and so imminent that none can deny it, it's already too late. It's already too late. I would rather prevent a threat from occurring and be accused for the rest of my life of having falsely raised the alarm, knowing in myself that I was right, than for fear of being judged, having waited too long until the point of no return has been crossed. The good news is that we are far away from the point of no return. So all of us should organize together and work together for the good and the benefit of all the people in our societies, of all walks of life, of all persuasions, to deliver for them what they are justly entitled to, which is to live with safety, with fundamental human dignity, and with the ability to live in peace and harmony with their families and neighbors. Thank you all, and God bless.
Didn't need to start and stop. That kept me engaged, at least, especially the end part there. I was about to bring up most of the 10 Commandments have to do with coveting.
Sure it does. And you know what?
Proper worship and then
I knew you
coveting.
were on that. I was thinking the same thing as, hey, we've already been told what right is. We know what right looks like. Do we do it? But he said that something at the end that I thought was fitting. And I mean this for all things. If there are sea of troubles, take up arms and oppose them, and to end them, to sleep, to dream. But better to deal with something on your terms now than later on their terms.
Yeah.
And that's, the kind of thought that Churchill talked about. And so many people are scared to act, to take it. Thus, conscience doth make cowards of us all.
And one of the prayers I say every morning is a litany of humility.
Yeah.
Because I need it. And really, it's a litany is, you have a constant mantra you're saying. Sure. And the first one is deliver me, Jesus. And then the second one is Jesus, grant me the grace to desire it. And, essentially the first part goes through a whole list of desires and fears. But in particular, fear is the word. The fear of being humiliated. It's not wrong to fear certain things, in particular, fear the Lord. It's not wrong to desire certain things. But when desire and fear is oriented towards stuff that, might hurt, like being falsely accused. Well, if to his point, if you're fearful of being falsely accused, you might not properly stand up for yourself.
That's right.
You might hold back. You might censor yourself. But then the one that really stuck out to me, especially on the issue of envy, it's one of the last ones. It says, Jesus, grant me the grace to desire it. And what is that desire? That others might be holier than I, provided I am as holy as I should be. And become as holy as I should be. But others can be holier than I. And that is, that runs completely counter to the envy instinct.
Absolutely.
You hope that there are some that are better than you. You hope for it. But then I'm also thinking of a complete atheist, though I always love this formulation. I think I heard Michael Malice come up with it about Ayn Rand. That Rand doesn't have all the answers, but she asks all the right questions. But I would add to that, she answers some of those questions pretty daggone well because, she actually gave a hat tip to Aristotle and Thomas Aquinas, of all folks.
So she do that.
And so I think she's wrong on pride. Because she considers pride a virtue. But she's wrong on a lot of stuff. But on envy, because I think of her experience in the Soviet Union, she was so good on it. And this is from The Age of Envy, one of her essays. She says, envy is regarded by most people as a petty, superficial emotion. And therefore it serves as a semi-human cover for so inhuman an emotion that those who feel it seldom dare admit it to even to themselves. That emotion is hatred of the good for being good. Stephen Miller just laid this out quite well. This hatred is not resentment against some prescribed view of the good which one does not agree. So some people might think that's good. You think, no, that's evil.
Right.
No, hatred of the good for being good, being the good, means hatred of that which one regards as good by one's own conscious or subconscious judgment. It means hatred of a person for possessing a value or virtue one regards as desirable. If a child wants to get good grades in school but is unable to or unwilling to achieve them and begins to hate the children who do, that is hatred of the good. If a man regards intelligence as a value but is troubled by self-doubt and begins to hate the men he judges to be intelligent, that is hatred of the good. And it's fascinating, like these, you see this at play a lot. You definitely see this play, and I think Stephen Miller put it quite well.
Well, would you read the last on man? If someone hates man's intellect,
if a man regards intelligence as a value, but is troubled by self-doubt and begins to hate the men he judges to be intelligent, that is hatred of the good.
You know what it is also is an envy. It's a form of envy. They're smarter than I am. Thus I hate you. Yeah, it's kind of all connected together through biblical envy.
Yeah, and it's essentially it's a reverse of a proper human emotion. Envy is a response of hatred not towards human vices. It's right to hate vice,
right,
and to hate sin, to have horror in your soul when you encounter sin in yourself and others. But it is envy says you have a hatred not towards vices but towards human virtue.
This is true. Yes,
because perhaps you don't possess them, and sometimes it's virtue, sometimes it's stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I will just be happy if I had that money. I would just be happy if I had that wife, that woman,
job, whatever it is.
Or that man. I would just be that job. Yeah. I'd just be happy if I just was somewhere different.
Material things.
Yeah. And doesn't work out that way. And I don't know. I think
it's interesting
to counter this. J.D. Vance and Ben Shapiro was taking them to task for it. I'm just hearing socialism. I actually think Vance is trying to square what is genuinely a long thread in Christian thought of, okay, there are problems with coveting, obviously. And when you see that envy and the coveting that comes with so much of the political programs these days, that's one problem. But then there are also times where you need to understand that if people are marginalized, so like if people are on the outs, that is going to become a great temptation. Like you're upping the temptation to engage in that envy and all the things that come from envy and coveting.
Pile on.
Yeah. All the resentment that comes from it. So like, and this is the whole idea, I believe under the old covenant, the idea of the Jubilees. And like one idea is also like, don't harvest, don't pick the crops that are on the edges of your field in case for people passing by and traveling. Like there is this idea of like, you don't have your property, have your stuff. That is the best way. Don't covet other people's stuff, but don't cling to it too tightly. Be very generous with it.
Agreed.
And so here's Vance making the point, I think, quite well. This was on Rogan. Of course, the Uber free marketers, which, I'm still there in a lot of ways. I think, well, they didn't like this. Any suggestion to the contrary of pure property, but let's listen to it.
One of the things I talk about in the book is like there is a Christian idea of political economy that's actually been lost in American politics, where it's like we think of it as libertarianism, the hardcore free market versus socialism or communism. And there actually is a third way that has existed in pretty much all Christian economic thinking going back 2,000 years ago, which is that, yeah, extreme wealth inequality does create problems, but you still got to have private property. You still have to have a state that protects private property rights. And there's a way to balance these things that I think we've sort of lost in our country a little bit. And when I like, okay, let me play devil's advocate with the DSA, because I think that their ideas are crazy. And I think that you're right. They will lead to a very totalitarian place. I'm not defending a single thing that they say, particularly their hatred of ice cream. What I am saying is, and maybe this is just sort of the way my mind works, I tend to be a little bit more empathetic. Why are young people attracted to socialism in 21st century America? One of the best interviews that Charlie Kirk ever gave, it was right before he died. It was an episode that he did with Tucker Carlson where he talked about the fact that if you don't give young people a stake, if you don't give them ownership, if you don't give them a sense of the American dream and of possibility in the future, they're going to become socialists. Like if you have a zero-sum environment for a 25-year-old in this country, they're going to start to say the only way for me to get anything is to take away from somebody else. So we have to get away from like the zero-sum thinking. I think that's like the root cause of this. But I also think that, look, we've ran an experiment in the United States of America. And, I think that we have undone that experiment, taken it in a different direction in the Trump administration, where ship all the factories overseas and let low-wage foreigners make our stuff. That was a bad deal for American workers. Again, it takes a long time to reverse that trend, but I think it's one of the best parts of Trump administration policy is you do see that trend starting to reverse. This idea that nobody should own anything, we should all become renters, whereas what we're trying to do is lower interest rates. You actually have seen housing costs stabilize in the country over the last year and a half, frankly, because of immigration. We had way too many people going after way too many homes. You close the border. This is one of the reasons why rents and housing costs have stabilized a little bit. So I think that unless you go down that pathway of allowing young Americans to own something, socialism is the inevitable outcome. Do I think that's good? No. But I really do worry, and I see this, frankly, more in my own party than I do on the other side. There is this revulsion to socialism that's totally justified without enough thinking about how did we get here in the first place.
Right.
And if we don't fix that, and I would say if we don't get back to a more Christian sort of understanding of economics, socialism is the alternative. Like that is where this goes.
Well,
if people don't
think
own
the game
anything,
is rigged.
Exactly.
Well said.
One of the problems, and again, maybe it's semantics, but I heard him say, if Charlie Kirk said essentially, if we don't give them a stake, then they'll turn away and they'll go to to socialism. I'm not sure you give anybody anything. I think they need to earn their. The problem we have today is the feeling of entitlement that I'm owed something, and go serve in the military, go do something for your republic, and then you will have skin in the game and you'll understand. Speaking of isms, do you remember the Dear Ann, it was an old Dear Abby, said, a teacher explained isms as this. Do you remember socialism? You have 2 cows, you give one to your neighbor. Communism, you have 2 cows, you give the milk to the government, you sell some of the milk. Fascism, you have 2 cows, keep the cows, give the milk to the government, they sell you some milk. New Dealism, you have 2 cows, shoot one, milk the other, then pour the milk down the drain. Nazism, you have 2 cows, the government shoots you and keeps the cows. Capitalism, you have 2 cows, sell one and buy a bull.
Oh, yeah.
Love that one. That was a good one.
I like it. Now, and I would put it this way. Vance's point is, in the name of free markets and say free trade, which it wasn't even really principled free trade, what you did is you hollowed out a lot of, say, opportunity to that the attitude you asked for, and I think you're 100% right. You have to start with the attitude of I'm not owed anything. I have to serve others. But I think there are people with that attitude who are working their tail off, they're just getting by, and they're kind of at this point going, okay, if I'm working my tail off,
I agree.
Why is it so hard to get by? And you start to see the inflation.
Yep.
And you start to see, the trade policies and so many other policies that have led to making it difficult to have that stake. And instead you're a perpetual wage earner that's only renting.
And that's
my
son
a big
was
problem.
in that mode for a while. Now he's beyond it. And it's funny because you're right. There is a breakdown. The boomers will blame the boomers for the failure of the housing market, where kids today, good luck buying a house unless you really got some stuff going.
Yeah. Well, let's go to line 1. This person's been real patient. You're on there. Who's this?
Boy, Joey,
Yep.
how you?
Good. How are you, Duke?
How you doing, Mr. Troy?
Dukester, how are you, man?
I've been sitting and listening to this, Joey. I'm gonna sit here and listen to this here. Just gonna listen to this. Who was that first cat you had? Was it Steve Miller?
Yeah.
Okay. Then Vance.
Yeah, then Vance.
Let me say a little something here. These same kids he's talking about the steak. Okay, society told these kids to work hard and go to school to get your college degree and what you feel that you want to be in life. Then here come AI, taking all this house this kid wants to buy one day, taking all these dreams away by
AI's doing that?
Not making this job available for this kid.
Where is AI doing that?
Take over all this stuff here, and robots and all that stuff going to take over all this stuff.
Why are you assuming the robots and the AI would just take away all the jobs?
Say what now?
Why are you assuming the AI and robots will just take away all the jobs? Why wouldn't it create new jobs?
Well, most companies won't need individuals. Hell, they just hook it up to, this technology and roll with it,
Or it could be that person, instead of going to work for somebody else, could literally start a company with like some AI and a couple other dudes.
They may have maybe 4 or 5 people, but versus, 500 or 600 people.
No, to your point, I think there are going to be definitely job losses in particular industries, but the way this has always seemed to have worked out is you get job gains in industries you never thought you couldn't even think of beforehand.
But he's making it sound like these kids looking for a handout. Hell, these people and the kids I know want an opportunity. That's all they want, an opportunity.
I think I would say when we say these kids, it's a mixed bag.
Well, he said something about kids, didn't he?
Sure, but I think there's sometimes it's not always. There is a mixed bag there, where kids are coming out of, say, their middle class home and they expect to have the $300,000 home mom and dad had that they grew up in right out of college, and it's like, no, that's unreasonable. Now, I think this is the point I was trying to make, and it's actually the point Vance was trying to make, that if there are clear instances of the system being rigged, like you went to college and all this debt, are there ways in order to essentially like a jubilee of some sort, like that doesn't create a socialist system and redistribution where people are constantly on the dole, but just gives people breathing room to essentially start over and earn their keep that way. And there's also long-term things about why are housing prices so high? Why is the value of money continuing to fall in a bad way for everyday folks? Are gas prices too high? Yada, yada, yada. Inflation.
We already know why the gas prices went up lately around here. You know,
Because we got a bomber run. Because they're crazy, Duke. They're cuckoo.
What was I about to say here? Go on for a minute. Let me get my thought back together. Go ahead, talk for a minute. Go ahead.
Just go. Just go. Just say whatever you need to say so I can get my thought back.
Go ahead.
We're waiting for you.
Waiting on you.
See, you throw me sometime when I come on here, Joey. So you fast talking, see.
Fast talking.
Yeah. But just like these jobs, you know, like you said, people feeling gold that I want to buy a certain type house in a certain neighborhood, you know, something better than my parents, or you know. So, but if you have a government to come through and take your federal job away, like this White House did when they came back in, taking all these people federal jobs. I got some friends that lost these good paying federal jobs because somebody, you know, want to take that job away. So that kind of don't help things neither, does it, Joey?
Yeah, but we need less federal jobs.
Huh?
We need less federal jobs.
We had all these in the White House need to go home because they haven't done anything since the last 2 or 3 years. Or they bow down to the man and say, "What's the hell you want me to do?"
Well, I mean, the grand experiment of the principle I'm laying out just happened in Argentina, where Milei down in Argentina fired a lot more people than what Doge fired. And at first it hurts. It's like, well, my job went away. And now, like, Argentina's growing like crazy, and people are getting jobs in the private sector.
And they're beating England in the World Cup.
And what's beautiful about a private sector job is you don't have to take money from other people to pay for it.
That's right.
Joey, so we compare ourselves to Argentina?
Man, they're getting back for the
Economic supplies wherever,
man.
man.
This is the United States of America, Joey. We can't compare ourselves
Or
to Argentina.
are the underlying principles of economics different in different parts of the planet?
I mean, I heard somebody trying to compare the voting system to Argentina voting system and all that mess like that. But back to Stephen Miller right here. What the hell was he talking about?
All this radical left-wing terrorism.
I'm talking about what radical left-wing group? Where's the headquarters in this place? Where can I go knock on the door and say, I want to talk to you guys? Where's this?
Well, better than that, Duke. Here's what I heard him say. If they knock on your door, you could shoot them, baby. AKV, defending your home. That's what I heard out of him. Do it with fervor and passion, he said.
So no reason I'm not going to buy into this none of gaslighting because he didn't have the passion when all these people were partying at the White House. January 1st, 2025. Okay.
You mean January 6th at Capitol?
He didn't hoop and holler about just some of these individuals that got pardoned.
Yeah.
Did he? But one law and order though. Then when somebody got killed within the last couple of weeks by the ICE agents or something like that, and hell, he didn't say anything about these individuals that normal people. He say. No. Who said something about normal people? That was banned. See, both of them, I listened to both of them at the same time, and all of them started kind of gaslighting at the same time. They got my mind crossed up a little bit. But these ICE agents and people not upholding should they go on the what's this list?
No, Miller's point on the ICE agents is Trump and then won a landslide election on a mandate for ICE to enforce, and ICE has constitutional abilities to enforce, and folks are saying, no, we have a veto. And the veto is not at the ballot box, the veto's in the streets.
They do not have the right to go out in the street and shoot people, man. And one lady,
they do have a right to go and deport people.
They sure do.
One lady told her ex-husband in Maine, saying, hell, he came to her, running to her, trying to want her to help him out.
Right.
You know,
So if I don't like a law, I just go stand in front of law enforcement and I'll be a martyr for the cause, right?
That's right.
Or instead, I could win an election and change the laws.
Well, what I'm saying now, they coming in wants to be the big police this time around, but pardon the damn people who done dirt and kill people and all this kind of carrying on and raping people, and they didn't put no energy toward this damn Epstein file at all too much, okay?
Well, I don't know, Duke. We're running out of time here, but like, I don't know. Especially JD made a lot of sense there, and you just came out of gaslighting.
I heard what he was saying. All of them just trying to blow smoke up our bun them back there. Sorry.
That when people don't feel like they have a stake, they might turn to socialism to get a government program? Like that's not true?
That's what I'm saying. That they're reaching. They not doing it.
Have you not seen? Hey, maybe you should see what the Democrats actually want and what the Democrats actually do when they get in power.
See a high the store, and the gas is creeping back up higher right now, baby boy.
Right.
And my insurance is out the damn roof.
Listen-
My health insurance is out the roof. So
Check it out. It's going to get fixed when Coach comes back. They're going to have the National Guard out here rounding people up, putting them in concentration camps. Don't worry, Duke. I'll vouch for you, Duke. I'll vouch for you, Duke.
You know, Duke, the reason I bring Troy on the show is his reasonableness.
You know what I'm talking about, man?
I'll vouch for you, Duke. Just keep your head down.
I know want their grocery prices down and want the gas prices to stay at one damn price past $3.35 something like this. Keep it at that level right there.
Sounds like we're going to destroy the planet.
Huh?
Sounds like you want fossil fuels to destroy the planet.
No. I want the gas to be like it
Yeah,
was
me
last
too.
year this
I
time.
agree with you.
Okay.
I want a lot of things to be like they
And
were about 10 years
I
ago.
keep passing this fat steak in the store. I can't afford to get this fat steak yet. So, I'm keep looking at it. But I want to be able to get one day soon.
I don't know. Sometimes, Duke, I wonder if I looked at your budget, how much you could afford, especially compared to me. I think you play this game, and Joey's so rich, and Joey's doing so well, and I suspect, I don't know.
Joey, one thing before I go.
If I see duck eggs, a receipt for duck eggs that you bought the other day, I would be very upset.
Hey, Joey, one thing before I go. Didn't I call that one yesterday, boy? Didn't I tell you, old boy, at the end of the day, you know how it is when you hadn't seen somebody in a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden they pop up. You know they want something, right?
What's Save America?
Want to borrow something. They ain't called you and checked on you and nothing, but all of a sudden they come in over there with the head hanging down. That's what Trump did us last night, see. I told you yesterday, it was all about this daggone, whatchamajig thing that he wants, that vote thing. Okay?
Yeah, Save America, right.
Yeah. That's what that was all about. What did he say right before he stepped up the stage last night?
We're doing great.
His pop said that too. But he said that that's the reason we need to pay the thing right
Yeah,
there.
he said it. I mean, good job. You called it. Like, good job.
And where my cookie at?
See, he's wanting a handout.
I'm going, y'all.
I love you, buddy. Talk to you later.
Gotta hit this break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is Ashley, the owner of Pest Pro Services, and termite season is here. We want to help protect your home using the newest termite technology available. Pest Pro is the only company in the river region offering the Termidor High Precision Injection Unit, giving us the ability to treat termites with unmatched accuracy. Our goal is simple: to protect your home using the best products and the right solution for you. Give us a call today for your free inspection at 265-9990 or visit us at ppsriverregion.com. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of health care you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have. Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Hey, y'all, Lewis at the Capital Oyster Bar. We're located over here on that beautiful Alabama River. Y'all, we have a good time down here on the river, and I want to tell you, this Sunday we're going to do it again. 4 o'clock showtime from New Orleans. Big Al and the Heavyweights. Man, we love when these guys come to town, and You know, we've been doing this for 30 years, and I'll guarantee you Big Al's been playing probably 25 of those, man. It's been a long time we've been together, so you're going to love it. Some good old music. Check it all out, CapitalOysterBar.com, our Facebook page. You're going to see a map how to get here, a menu of the good food. We also rent out pontoon boats. All you need is a driver's license, a credit card. We can hook you up on a day on the river, and you jump in there and cool off a little bit. We also got an RV park down here. If you want to come down and stay a little while, we got a nice bathhouse, a laundromat in there, so you can come down here and stay for a while. So let me remind you again, Big Al and the Heavyweights out of New Orleans. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a good show. Check it out at CapitalOysterBar.com because we got some more shows lined up right behind it. So see you soon. Come hungry and bring the family with you.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Well, hi, everybody. No big surprises in the forecast as we go into the weekend. We will be watching the Northeast Gulf for possible low-pressure development. That could bring additional moisture into the area, so we'll take the rain chances up a notch. Tonight, most towns stay dry, overnight low temperature in the 70s. I've got the Saturday high around 93, 94, and lower 90s on Sunday as well. By the way, we could reach the upper 90s for a high by early next week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Had somebody call up and said they're going to declare a national emergency and cancel the elections, the midterm elections. That's what their takeaway from all the clips we just played and stuff.
We have to see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, everybody's free to have their interpretation.
I mean, that's something.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, and this is true for both you and I as well. People see what they want to see.
That's perspective, and that's reality.
See what they want to. Let's go to Crawdad. Hey, Crawdad.
Good afternoon. I always enjoy listening to your show. You have some really nice bumper music.
Thanks, man.
I wanted to ask you again, I think I mentioned a moment ago, Stuxnet, if I'm saying it right. Siemens equipment that was tinkered with, it was intended to go in and to mess with Iran's developing and spinning up stuff to weapons grade. And then Shin Bet technology, they said, well, we'll just tinker around with this, but don't tell the Americans. We'll just spice in just a little piece of code, and didn't tell anything. And everything went south. And it took Siemens lab after the fact to go, look, a piece of code that's not supposed to be here. Now, I remember this because I can't trust anybody with something that delicate.
Right.
So I like Mr. Netanyahu and everything. I like that, but I don't trust when you're going to hand over so much to someone. I don't even know why our people in D.C. are even having a conversation about sharing that level of tech or paying. I don't even know how to say it. I mean,
yeah, but it could be one of those things where we have a joint program and then everybody's lying about it.
Crawdad, I hate to rain on your parade, but I'm going to tell you right now, we've actually acknowledged that was a joint mission with Israel and IDF and with Shin Bet, with Mossad. And let's be honest, the end result was very favorable. It slowed down immensely their centrifuge program, which was quickly getting above 80% in uranium enrichment. So, I'm with you.
And also, Crawdad, your general principle, do you think the folks say in CIA or intelligence and the Americans fully trust intelligence in Israel?
Nobody.
No.
So, Troy, were you just telling me that our guys were aware that that code had been tinkered with?
I think that we did it in conjunction with them, and we injected it because
man.
I'm just letting you know. But remember this, Crawdad. Whatever we give them has a limited shelf life, a limited potentiality. We're not giving them all of our greatest, but it's, you know what Sun Tzu says in chapter 39 of The Art of War, there are always useful idiots.
Now, there's one thing I did appreciate by Israel for many years. IMI when they making those 226. That was some good ammo.
Listen, they make great. Listen, and they've improved on our F-35, which is now the Adder, they call it, and it's got advanced. They're really good at a lot of things because of what is it? Necessity is the mother of invention. But I will say this, Crawdad. Of all the countries that spy on America, you'd be surprised at who the top are. You want to take a guess at the top 3 that spy on us domestically?
Shin Bet.
Yeah, Israel's 1.
Yeah.
And then France is 2, followed by China. What? France is 2. Yeah. Hey, every transatlantic flight on an Air France airliner has listening devices in the headrest and the business class and in the coach class, so they can capture all conversations for American businessmen coming overseas and coming back.
Wow. Good grief. Listen, you guys, thank you very much. I appreciate your show.
Appreciate you, buddy.
272-9228.
Hey, did you see the combat tournament they got over in Sichuan? The World Fighting League for robots?
No.
The first fight was yesterday, and the white robot kicked the black robot's head off. White Eagle versus Matador.
They got to bring race into this.
I wasn't bringing race. I was just saying a coloration.
We'll be right back.
You may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
I got hairy legs.
Haven't heard that one in a
Been a
while.
while. Been a while.
So this part of the program brought to you by Prattville Carpet. And there at Prattville Carpet, Ray Bowles and his team are ready to help you out with any and all of your flooring needs. Of course, carpet, I'll even cut up an area rug for you if you need a specially made one. And of course, I might have to do that actually.
That'd be something for you.
But of course, they can help with like traditional hardwood, luxury vinyl plank,
epoxy.
Yes, and as well as the ceramic tile. So like maybe you want to lay down new stuff for the bathroom or kitchen countertops, backsplash, all that stuff. They can get the job done. You just need to call them up at 285-8117. They'll come out and do a free and no measurement on whatever area you're looking to resurface. You pick out the product and they'll get it done. Just that simple, folks. Again, that's 285-8117. And be sure to tell them Joey that fell on the radio sent you. Now, I just realized something.
What?
Like, it's not often that our Democrat friends call us. And, sometimes, Duke's an independent.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, I think
Maybe he is.
I suspect Duke doesn't care.
I think he's more, yes.
And I think
he's more.
He plays this whole Joey with the duck eggs, and I'm like, I think he's had duck egg.
I think he eats duck eggs.
Anyway, I'm on to you, Duke. But sometimes when I play a thing, like from the Trump people, like I'll get some Democrats that call, and they like say stuff and their interpretations. And I'm realizing that when that happens, it means, oh, really good job, Stephen Miller. Really good job, J.D. Vance. Great job, Marco Rubio.
Right.
If you're getting folks to get a little nervous and freak out about what you're saying, perhaps you're over the target in some way.
You are.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what Trump said? I'm sorry. I can't
Yeah,
keep
what
us.
did he say?
He's going to he's considering tariffs on Canada for the smoke that's coming into the country from the wildfires.
Really?
I'm not making it up. He said, they're not maintaining their brush and their forest. And I'm thinking about tariffing him on this.
Oh, he's talked about raking the forest before. So we learn anything today?
That I think that Stephen Miller, we're in good hands with some of the leadership up there that's, advising. So.
Yeah, we learned that.
What did you learn?
That I don't want the Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance thing to get ugly just yet.
I know.
Like, I really don't.
I hope it doesn't.
Like, because it seems like it's going to get ugly here. I learned a lot of people still don't trust Israel.
You're right about that.
It's like, if that's like the threshold to call somebody an anti-Semite, like I don't trust a foreign government. And I'm very capable at that. And it's like, you must. It's like, no, I don't have to. Anyway.
Don't go camping with Muhammad.
I debunked that. But like I said earlier, I bring Troy on for his reasonableness.
I think a lot of your fans would agree. Don't go camping with Muhammad.
Actually, if it was up to a vote, I think you'd win the election. Anyway, happy hours next with Terry Adams.
From the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.